Greetings. Hello, Crassicalist. Hello, friend. How are you doing? Right. My first time ever doing a tutorial, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, God, what the hell do you know? And that's exactly the point. This is a tutorial for people who are not, who like me, are not at Anthony's kind of level of speedrunning, but you quite fancy getting through the game quickly. So, as we go through, I'm going to be just... It's almost like a sequence of backup strats, you know, for the most part. Because having watched some people recently, one of the things that I noticed wasn't the way that they addressed combat. That's not what really slowed them down. Mostly it was a case of kind of doing stuff that wasn't necessary, mainly picking things up. Okay, so a lot of this is going to be about just mentioning the stuff that you can bypass. You don't need to detour and go and pick up that health kit or that nail bomb or whatever. So the first thing is obviously your skip movie, which I'm not going to run the timer, obviously. And as soon as you do that, we're off. Nothing to explain on the opening sequence, but I'll try to mention things which probably work better than others. So let's go. Let's all enjoy. Nice chilled evening tonight, I think. Volume all right. It was a little bit quiet.
Hello?
Sarah, honey, I need to get your daddy on the phone.
Uncle Tommy, what time is it?
I need to talk to your dad now. There's something...
Uncle Tommy? Hello?
Okay, not much to talk about here. I mean, I could mention like the best point at which to hit the triangle prompt to open a door or something like that. For what it saves you, like might be the occasional half second or something like that. It really isn't worth it. This is all pretty straightforward.
Daddy?
Everybody knows what to do here. Just hugging corners. I mean, you'll slow yourself down if you bonk into stuff, obviously. But not much to remember here.
There's his phone.
Because somebody asked me to ages ago, and
Does anyone come in here?
I wasn't really a huge fan of the idea.
Don't go near the doors. Just
But then a few other people said, yeah, that'd be a good idea. So, yeah, I just went for it. Adam! With a 5-month subscription at tier 3. Wow.
We're kind of sick.
Thank you, dude. That's a lot of support there.
Jimmy!
Dad?
Wow.
Come here. Come here.
How you doing, mate?
Jimmy. Jimmy, stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you. Go!
You shot him.
Sarah,
I think
Something's
partly
wrong.
it's because
there is something bad going on.
I think somebody didn't really believe that I was playing with one hand.
Tommy, come on.
That may have had something to do with it. I can't really remember.
Where the hell you been? You have any idea what's going on out there?
I got some notion.
Holy shit. You got blood all over you.
It ain't mine. Let's just get out of here.
This ain't half the people in Sydney lost their minds.
Okay, now you don't need to do that. It's just that that little command there on the left, the L3,
Later.
that's a little bit like seeing notifications on Facebook or Twitter or on Twitch or whatever. You just see that little thing and you've got to get rid of it. It must be OCD.
Thanks.
No cell phone. No radio. Yeah, we're doing great. A minute ago, newsman wouldn't shut up.
No need for the controller at all at this point, so you can have the lap cam.
Put up roadblocks on the highway. No getting into Travis County.
We need to get the hell out. Take 71.
71. That's one.
Did they say how many are dead?
Probably a lot. Found this one family all mangled inside their
Tommy.
house. Right. I'm sorry.
Now, once we actually get into the town and we start running with, well, stumbling with Joel, there's not really a huge amount to say. You know, as long as you get your direction right, as long as you're heading the right way. Now, there is a speedrun strat whereby on 2 occasions you can get Tommy behind you and he gives you a push forward.
Are we sick?
It's really difficult to do, and what it gains you is a few seconds, but you'd probably drive yourself mad trying to get it. So really the best thing to do is just try to keep clear of the townsfolk, but it's very RNG-ish. So, but as long as you're heading in the right direction, then it's okay.
Keep driving, Tommy.
I think if you're speedrunning this casually, whatever happens, unless perhaps if you got caught and died, you would never reset. You'd just, you know, get through it. Hey Jimmy, how you doing, friend? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
This is bad. Everyone and their mother had the same damn idea.
We could just backtrack and...
What the fuck, man? Let's go!
And Tim with 3 months. Yay! Welcome, dude.
What the fuck just happened? Did you see that? Yes, I saw it. God damn. Turn here, turn here.
Thanks for the support, dude. A picture of my ham. That almost sounds rude. Hang on.
Oh no.
That'll be in IRL pic somewhere.
Stop here,
I
Tommy.
can't fucking drive through them, Joel! Back up there! They're behind me, too! There! Hold on!
Pineapple?
Go!
Pineapple? Really? You're a sick man, Jimmy. You're a sick man.
Daddy? Hey!
Get back, man. Get back.
Okay, so this is very obvious square mashing here. Absolutely, Tim. Absolutely. You know, it's for people like me who couldn't do what Anthony does. But it's still a way of getting through the game nice and quick.
Dad?
I'm here, baby. I'm here. Come on, give me your hand. What is it?
My leg hurts.
How bad?
Pretty bad.
There will be quite a few occasions when I am going to pause the game to explain what's going to go on in a section.
Come on, baby.
Oh my god,
Hold on tight.
never seen him do that. So really, trust your luck here, keep over to the right hand side,
I'm scared.
hope that they don't fall in front of you. Hug this corner nice and sharp. Don't go straight out into the road, just try and aim for the back of this Volvo. That happens.
Keep looking at me, baby.
It's always going to be a case of the struggle is real. That's not too bad.
I promise.
Now, it's a good idea, if you get a clear run at it, to get onto this little raised bit, because they don't run on that.
Get back! There's too many of them! This way! Through the alley!
Hey, Melissa! Hello there, darling.
Go!
Okay, little mash. Now, you kind of just face a little bit that way. Just face towards Tommy a bit. If you don't, he occasionally disappears, in which case you die.
Come on! Go! Move it!
Now, generally, you can hear in your headset if he's too far behind. If he is, I'd recommend just slowing down a little bit, let him catch up. Now, there is actually a strat here, would you believe?
We're almost there.
What you want to not do... Retro, hi there, dude. What you want to do here is keep to the right-hand side. as you go up this slope. If you go too far left, one of these guys will actually grab you and it's game over. So just keep a little over to the right. Get ready with your RE. And then you do another one here. As soon as you see that, and the reason for it is that there's a little pan of the camera and a little bit of dialogue, and we cut that out by doing the restart.
Wait, are you serious?
Now, Anthony always says don't get too close to Tess here. Yeah, she will slow you down a little bit if that happens, but we're talking about half a second, maybe.
I'll make sure to tell them that.
Attention. Citizens are required to carry a at all times.
Okay, just keep your forward button pressed here, your L3.
Ration line hasn't opened yet.
And he'll move as soon as he can. Now, there are a lot of instances in this game where the most important thing is just have a finger ready on the appropriate button.
That just means more people are sneaking.
Hey Rocco, hiya friend.
I gotta sell new papers. They shouldn't get us any static. Just play it cool.
There is actually something to say here. I've never seen anybody, not for a long, long time, but Anthony has actually done this. I've done it a few times. You've got to be careful when you do your sprint turn here. Make sure you don't go too far right, because what actually happens is Joel is facing that rail and he can't move. It's a glitch in the game. So like, just don't overdo the turn here.
Go, let's go, come on.
All civilians must clear the surrounding area immediately.
Looks like the coast is clear. Come on.
Attention. Checkpoint 5 is now closed until further notice.
So much for the easy route. Patch yourself up, alright?
The much needed tutorial. Can't survive without that.
They're gonna
Right, now on Easy New Game Plus, forget hallway launch.
Outside the wall.
Or we could just let Robert go.
My preferred path is to keep over to the left here, because I've had this guy block me if I go right.
Hey, how's the east tunnel
Just
looking?
shinny around into the right.
I just used it. No patrols. And where are you off to?
Gonna pay Robert a visit?
We actually got a mini test push there. Wow.
Been asking around, trying to find
Now,
What are the
Cook Jack, hello there.
You think she'd tell me?
Well, what did you tell her?
The truth. I got no idea where he's hiding.
Good man.
Now, the restarting counterpoint here, one thing that is quite important is to make sure that your camera is pointing down. If he's not looking down, it will actually take you right back to the beginning of this
I don't like
this
it.
corridor,
We better find him before the Fireflies do.
which is kind of stupid. So as you get to the 4th diamond, or the 3rd and a half actually, make sure you're looking down, and you can't really see it. Okay, you've got half a diamond. These are the white, choking, the white ones. You've got half a diamond and then 3. When you get into the 3rd one, that's your cue to do the restart. But like I said, make sure that your camera is looking down.
Us.
And what that does, there's an additional little
Stirring up out there.
animation
How we looking over
of
here?
these two.
It's been quiet. No signs of military or infected.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh, and the other thing is don't get too close to a triangle prompt, because it won't appear.
Joel,
Just
give me a hand with this.
step back a little bit.
Yeah, I'll take it easy out there.
That really applies to all of them, you know, doors and things like that.
Oh, God, this place reeks. I need to watch what they throw away down here.
The challenge is to explain speedrun strats for people who aren't experienced speedrunners, like me, without looking like a total tool. Oops. Like I just did then.
Not a lot of ammo.
Make the shots count.
One more thing to mention. I noticed that a lot of people don't craft things when they can. I do for a specific reason. There is nothing worse than reaching supplies that you can't pick up. And I've always taken the attitude that
Yes, ma'am.
craft it because you're probably gonna use it. That won't apply as much on grounded because stuff is much rarer. Oh, incidentally, square or triangle for those hoist ups. Take your pick. You can use either. Hey, Brad. Hello there, my friend. How's it going?
Go on.
You can use a little bit of crouch here, but I always miss the button, so I don't bother. I do the crouch once he's over here.
Trick question.
Wait till you get to the door, and then you can go straight into a jog.
Where's the ladder?
It's got to be around here somewhere. Got it.
Great, bring it over.
And again, there's a little restart here that I don't bother with. In fact, I've more often... Two things happen for me. I either quit to the main menu, that has happened, or I mistime it and I just end up back at the beginning. You can do a restart there.
It's all relative.
This way.
Time save is absolutely marginal, so I just don't bother with it.
Down through here.
Don't worry if Tess does that.
You think Robert's
Doesn't
still got
lose
our
you any
guns?
time.
For his sake.
It just changes the dialogue that you hear.
Get our merchandise back. It should be easy to unload.
Well, speaking of merchandise, when's that next
He
shipment
says
due?
speaking of merchandise instead of Tess saying hold up spores.
Where the hell are all these coming from? The place was clear last time.
Coming out of something. Stay alert.
We should be able to fit through.
There are a lot of times you might be able to see it on the controller. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
When I've got the
Damn
sprint
ceiling's
button,
falling apart. Be careful.
I've got the sprint
This
button
way.
pressed even when I don't need it. It's just that sometimes he'll sprint. Or, he'll jog at least. I don't bother with this ammo, incidentally. Don't bother picking this ammo up.
My mask broke. Come back.
Remember, this is easy mode, so you're going to get drops.
You hear that?
Now, this is my first strat. Anthony does this differently. If you're really, really confident with headshots, go for it. But this is so difficult. So this is the first backup. It's not as quick. It's not as quick, but it's not too slow either. This can be tricky. You want to try and get a headshot on one of these two. And I missed it. Don't worry. Don't worry too much. Oh my god. I'm just going to see what happens. Oh my god. I've seen everything now. So, yes, a strat, very important strat there is to get a stupid glitch. Anyway, probably just as well. I'll try and get the headshot now. And Tim with the gifted sub to Bradders. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, that's better. Now, I always try to face around to the left there, because that way you're facing the stairs when you finish. I've never seen that glitch before.
Let's hope so.
Again, keeping sprint pressed here. I don't bother with little crouch here. Now, patched or unpatched, I'm not sure if it makes a difference. I started going around to the right of that bus now, because too many times going to the left, that triangle prompt has appeared and then disappeared, and basically it takes you back to the point where you land outside the building. Right, this is the difficult one to explain. Crouch, keep to the corner. And keep your sprint button pressed. And if you're lucky, you'll get that little launch. Don't worry if you don't get it. I mean, you're talking about a second or so.
It's a bit heavy.
I think I can handle it.
All right.
Okay, and I keep Joel facing the wall there, and he'll climb as soon as he can. Okay, next little tip. Don't jump over the middle of this wall. It slows him down. It's a weird thing. Left or right doesn't really matter. But he'll keep his momentum going. If you jump over the middle of that wall, he struggles to get over it. And as soon as Joel starts moving, well, it's like when he slumps his shoulders, you know that you've got control, and that's when you do your restart encounter there. Not only does it take you into this room, I don't know if this applies to patched as well as unpatched, you can actually get a blue screen there. Never happened to me, but according to Anthony, it can happen.
Hey, little man. Make sure the coast is clear. No soldiers, none of Robert's men, yeah?
You know he's expecting us.
Well, that'll make it more interesting. Good to go. Come on.
Okay, again with the sprint button.
How you doing today?
Jogging a little bit faster.
No, it's good. Later.
Not now. You hear me?
Okay.
You touch it, you buy it.
Love you, Papa.
Okay, another unimportant restart and counterpoint here, because again, you're saving a few seconds. Well, actually, no. Let me just explain here. This is actually a really good RE to do. As we get back outside, we're kind of under a covered area, and you do the restart encounter as soon as you get to the end of it. Now, the reason for it is that this guy Pete, that we're about to meet in the gateway, if you don't do that restart encounter, sometimes it's the little quick time conversation is very late triggering. Now, I've had it where Joel has walked kind of 4 or 5 paces through the gate before it's triggered, and that's surprising time loss. Continue.
Sit back
Oh,
down.
sorry, Tess. Didn't realize you two were together. Go ahead.
Who's that?
An old
So what happens here? Look for this stanchion and do your RE there. And now Joel is facing directly towards the gate, but the other thing that happens is it's guaranteed that the conversation triggers straight
Robert.
away.
You come through here?
Half hour ago.
Yes, officially
He went back
Pete.
to the wharf.
Freako discovered it on the PS3 because he can get into the files, and he is actually called Pete, according to the file anyway. Hey there, Bigfoot.
Here we go.
Let us through.
You guys need to turn around. Back.
Good question. I'll answer that now, Tim. Is auto-aim better? It depends. Because one thing I noticed from your stream last night is you're damned good on the headshots. With auto-aim, the headshots are more difficult because by default, it will aim towards the body of your enemy and you've kind of got to drag it away. It can be a little bit tricky.
It's good for you.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want Robert. You don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
I'm not going anywhere without Robert.
Bitch, I will bash your skull unless you turn around and get your dumb ass out of here.
Fuck this.
Okay, the safer strat
Take
here.
cover!
You ready?
As soon as you can move,
I'll cover you. Get the angle on them.
as soon as you can move, run around here and crouch. And get you kind of, there you go, headshot, headshot.
Nice and
Don't
done.
worry if you don't get the headshots. You're not going to die. You can kind of run and punch. And actually, if you do, I'm not sure. I think if you run and punch those guys, you might have more of a chance of an ammo pickup.
Give me your hand. There you go.
Now, I've always done this in a different order to everybody else. Maybe I'm just weird. But I feel much more comfortable using this strat than the one that Anthony uses. Anthony runs forward and shoots the guy on the far left first. It may well be quicker, but I'm not as comfortable with that distance shot. Joel can't move yet, but keep mashing your X until he can. Now, I prefer to keep crouched, get the headshot there. This guy is generally hiding down here. Square button. Again, there's probably more ammo there, but don't really need to bother with it now. Now, before we do this, I've always had the habit here of picking up that bottle, which you need if you're going to use the pro strat, because you're going to throw it at one of the guys out there, but it's a very difficult thing to do. You've got to get the lock on straight away, throw it, run through, get a grab on the first guy while you're holding him, get 2 headshots, and it's like, what? No. So I don't do it, but what we do is a restart encounter. Don't bother with the bottle. Keep crouched. And you see they kind of line up really nicely for the headshots. Now, this guy here. You need to get that headshot really quick. Crouch. If you stand up, he'll get shots in. But it's really important, that guy at the top, you need to get the headshot as quick as you can, because he can spot you even though you're hidden. It's kind of stupid.
There's our boy.
Well, that's the great thing, Brad, because we're on easy, and particularly because we're on Easy New Game Plus, we don't need to worry too much about ammo.
Let's go wrap this up.
So here, run as soon as you can. Keep sprinting. Don't pick anything up. Don't pick anything up. Keep sprinting. Pick the brick up. Then just jog a little bit. Now sprint. This guy can be a pain in the arse. You never know entirely what he's going to do, but keep the... Now, that's important there. I used to have a real big problem with that area. I would get to that door and I'd be mashing the triangle prompt and the door wouldn't open. I'd get shot or I'd get grabbed. What you do is actually just keep the triangle pressed as you're getting to that door and he will open it straight away.
Get the fuck back!
We just want to talk, Robert.
We got fucking nothing to talk about!
Put your gun down.
Go fuck yourself!
He's running.
Now you can take either of the 2 routes here. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference.
This way.
Oh my god, that was actually a triangle prompt fail. I was doing the right thing, I had it pressed and it just didn't work. That happens. So you can either go this way, it's neither here nor there. Get ready with your restart encounter. X button. Now, next bit, because this is the thing that everybody does here. I do this very differently. Anthony will always pick up the melee weapon by that car, which is kind of ahead to the right. There's also on a table further on to the left some supplies. We don't need them. Now, the reason I don't pick up the melee weapon here, and maybe it's my gameplay, I don't know, but when I use it to hit the soldier on the bridge, he's got this habit of falling in front of me, which you kind of get stuck on him as you're trying to get by. and then all kinds of shit can happen. So I don't bother. What I do is I do a running punch, and for some reason he tends to fall more over to the right hand side, and it's easier to get round him. That's why I do it. So I don't bother
Get out of here now.
with anything here. Just go straight up.
You want the feel? We gotta move.
That's not actually
I know a way
like
around
a
this.
like a good strat as such. That really is just personal preference. Good idea to keep that positioning there, incidentally, because Tess can get ahead of you. Again, as you can see, I'm holding the sprint button when it probably... There's lots of areas where it probably isn't necessary, but I like the idea that it's always there, just in case.
Why do you think I'm turning to you?
That's another little thing. I mean, people don't always notice it. When you get a bunch of stuff on a table or the floor or wherever, you don't need to keep mashing the triangle button to pick things up individually. As long as you can see them in a group, it should pick them all up in one go, which is obviously a little bit quicker. You probably don't need to craft the shiv there. But like I said, if you can, I tend to do it anyway.
Joel, give me a
Hey, Suryoga! Hello there, dude. Okay, again, you can get past Marlene here,
Hey,
but
how are you holding up?
for half a second advantage. I know that half seconds are insignificant, but they all add up.
Hold up. Soldiers.
I was going to say something else then. That's quite right, they do add up.
Ain't a big fan of these odds.
We can sneak by them, even though I know that's not your style.
Okay,
We'll see how it goes. Let's get moving.
going to sprint straight away. X button.
We need to get to the door.
Now, up the stairs here. As you get a few steps up, just back off the sprint. Sprint again. Keep over to the right. And like I said, here, square button. And I got the camera thing there. That can happen. Don't worry about it. But did you see? Oh my god. That's really unusual. That is really unusual. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because you've got in that never happens, incidentally. It was due to that stupid camera thing. That happens to me quite a lot. What a lot of people here do is that they kind of think, oh, no, I'm really low on health, I'm going to die, won't get through the next section. Well, there isn't a next section. By the time we start gameplay again, Joel has got all of his health back. You can't die. Once you're there, you can't die. The game can be really cruel. If you're very low on health, you'll get offered a health kit, which is like saying, health up. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You're wasting it. Now, go into a crouch mode as soon as you can. Hey, Twister.
Where are we going, Merlene? This way. It's not
Go
far
into
now.
crouch straight away.
How you holding up? I'm running on fumes. But I'll make it.
Okay, the
Place
stairs.
right up ahead.
Attention.
I was wrong about Anthony's being slightly slower. He does actually do the restart at the same time. He's not looking at using the same reference point. But, oops, that one there, that post on the stairs, kind of line up with that to do your restart encounter. And again, don't get too close to the door here.
Joel, give me a hand with this.
And as soon as that happens, get ready to run left. That's with your right stick, obviously.
Down here. Keep up.
Oh, to see how many pills you've got, command pills. Or exclamation point pills. With no gap.
Up there. That'll get us to the north tunnel.
How are we supposed to reach that?
Just give me a minute.
Now, this can be frustrating. It's really, really stupid. Sometimes Joel won't hop up the fire escape here. Oh! I actually didn't mean to do that. If that happens, generally you've got no choice but to jump back off. Crouch as soon as you get through there. And better live with the raid. Betty, how you doing, dude?
You ever smuggle a kid before?
No, that's a first.
And Dean as well. Hi there, friend.
Marlene, anyways.
I don't know. She's my friend, I guess.
Your friend, huh? You're friends with the leader of the Fireflies.
Welcome, everyone.
12?
She knew my mom, and she's been looking after me. And I'm 14. Not that that has anything to do with anything.
So where are your parents?
Where are anyone's parents? They've been gone a long
Okay, and as you get towards this door, kind of,
Instead
you
of
know,
just staying in
start to
school,
angle around,
you
and then
decide to run
keep
up
your,
and join the Fireflies.
just keep the triangle button pressed. Sorry, because I was trying to explain something there. Don't kind of wait until you see it before you hit the button. If you just got the triangle prompt pressed, he'll open the door straight away.
Think it's a bit strange that they're having us do their smuggling?
Marlene wanted to do it herself. We weren't their first choice. Or the second, for that matter. She's lost a lot of men. Beggars can't be choosers.
I just hope there's someone alive to pay us.
Some will
Okay,
be around.
you can't do anything to get through here before Ellie and Tess. So the Vino at the moment is one that I just ran out of, and then I'm moving on to the South African Cab Sav, which is actually really nice. Obviously nothing to explain here. We all know how generators work. But I still believe if you hit the top, that should be a bonus. It starts straight away.
Who's waiting for us at the drop-off?
She said there's some fireflies that have traveled all the way from another city. Girl must be important. What is the deal with you? You some bigwig's daughter or something? Something like that.
You don't need to put your flashlight on here, but I always do.
If everything goes as planned, we should get you to the
Now, this can be awkward. That happens a lot.
I need you to follow our
But don't worry about it, obviously, the time loss is minimal. But sometimes Joel can kind of launch over to the other side of the room. Happens to me more often than it doesn't.
Hold up. There's a patrol up ahead. All right.
You can get a little bit of a launch here. I've been missing it all the time. But again, it's another one of those that gives you a tiny, tiny speed advantage.
Watch your step. This rain ain't gonna do us
And
any
again,
good.
I didn't. You can get a tiny little launch there.
I'm actually outside.
Now, this is a good one. This restart encounter, you actually get time to reach for the button. A lot of them don't,
Up this way.
because the game takes over at this point, so you can just be waiting for it. Bang! As soon as you get that impact, that's your restart encounter. Now, we all know what's coming up next.
Follow me.
X. Circle. Sprint. Circle. Now, keep your sprint button pressed here,
They're everywhere.
and he'll launch forward.
I see him. I see him.
Now, this is the tough bit. Everybody falls in the water most times here. I usually get the grab, like that. If you get it perfect, he'll land actually on that bit. Right, this is quite important. As you get to this wall here, duck. Sometimes the searchlight will pan across, sometimes not. Restart and counter point. Takes you to the gate.
Down there.
Now, I've got a question here.
Just stay right on my ass.
I've got a question. Fennec with the follow. Thank you, dude. I always pick up the brick here. And I was thinking about this last night. I don't need it. The next time I need a brick, I've already got one. Let's just think. Oh, I can't pick up a brick before the downtown fight. That's right, isn't it? I can't pick up a brick before the downtown fight. Okay, I do need it. Okay. Right, this is personal choice. I like to pick up this brick here. Just because it means that I'm not trying to reach for the crouch button and pick up that brick. I just find that easier, but you can do it either way. Everything here is running as soon as you can. You can't run here. Despite the fact that the soldiers, you should be alerted.
I got more soldiers.
So just go into your crouch here, and then the point at which you start sprinting again
I don't think they see us.
is at the end of this platform. So now you can sprint.
Hang on. Jesus.
Gather up. Calling us back. Returning to the wall. You heard the man. Hold on up.
Again, sprint button. Leave this one quite late. If you hit that prompt as soon as the triangle appears, it's a surprisingly long animation of Joel getting to whatever it is he pulls there. It's a little bit weird, to be honest. Skip movie, but there's a restart encounter here as well. As soon as you get the graphic, restart. It's another one that avoids panning camera and a little bit of dialogue. Right, ammo.
Holy moly.
I'm going to take the gamble, not pick up the ammo on the stairs. One thing to remember,
So what happened here?
we're playing easy New Game Plus.
What the hell was that?
We don't need to have a load of ammo.
Sounded pretty far away, though.
Are we safe?
For now. Come on.
You can crawl through there. I don't think there's any significant difference between the two. I actually go that way because just on the controller it's slightly easier for me, that's all.
Hey, Tess.
So by all means, if you want to, pick that ammo up. I don't think it's important, really.
God damn it. Clicker.
Jeez.
And with 4, we should get a drop from the clicker, but I've seen plenty of occasions when it's not happened.
Sort of. They see using sound.
Like that?
Like that.
Now, parts, pills, craftables,
Like it's about to
all kinds of shit over there. Don't bother with it, which is something I was mentioning kind of right at the start. Everybody I know is going to go into that drawer on the left-hand side in the previous room. There is scissors, I think, and then you've got the pills just before you crawl through. On the left-hand side of this room, there's a cubicle, like a desk cubicle thing, with a few more supplies. Just don't. It's not worth it.
Give me a hand with this.
No controller. That's all scripted there. Now, we may get a drop. Doesn't really matter either way. It's a bonus if we do. No, we didn't. Right, don't go and collect anything yet.
Let's get the hell out of here. Oh boy.
There is stuff that we'll pick up, but we're waiting now for Tess. So that gives us time.
It's clear.
The only thing I pick up here is alcohol. Hey, because I'm Dino. And look, by the time we get here,
Let's go.
she's ready. Now, what we could have done is, after the clicker, we could have gone into that room and picked up the alcohol. But then we'd just be waiting at the bottom of that thing for Tess to get ready. So, yeah, do it that way around.
Clickers?
Shit. Go.
Yeah, but it's still a little bit of a detour, Twister. Because we're going to run through this as quickly as we can. As soon as we can move. Now, you can pick this up if you want. Doesn't really lose you any time. I don't do the RE there, incidentally, because I don't know whether it might be a patch thing. I'm not sure. If I do the restart encounter, which is supposed to get rid of a bit of dialogue here, it actually has the opposite effect. Also, I might be doing it wrong, but here we don't get that stairwells blocked dialogue.
This is crazy. Just don't look down.
Are you serious?
This is frustrating, incidentally. You can't... Oh my... You can't do anything to speed up the point at which Joel will climb there.
Come on, Ellie. Yeah. Don't look down. Just don't look down.
You're okay. We got away from
Alright, just let off the sprint there so he doesn't go launching up the stairs. Now, this revolver. No. No, don't do it. What's here? Don't sprint. And here, I would recommend going straight into crouch. Right, now, there is something important. This is actually an easy way of doing it. Now, we're going to arm ourselves with a brick, and this is very, very important. In Easy New Game Plus, you've got Shiv Master, okay, which is great in some circumstances, but with clickers, it's also a pain in the backside, because if a clicker is alerted, you can't use a melee weapon or anything on it. Joel will just automatically use the Shiv, which isn't a one-hit kill, unfortunately. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select the brick, run towards the clicker, but make sure you throw the brick as soon as you've got the lock on. Don't wait. If the clicker gets alerted, you've got a big problem. So this is how we'll do it. Get ourselves with the brick. Lock on. Now, I always get into this area here before I do the restart encounter. And Anthony's strat is brilliant because he's there already. If you get lucky with the RNG there, you might end up in that side. If you don't, if you do the restart encounter too soon after killing the last one, it takes you back to the start of the combat. So I always say get into this last, it's not half, it's about a third, this back third of the room here. Then do your restart. Don't worry about any ammo. Now, on that combat there, you can get unlucky, you can get grabbed, another one can be too close to you. Oh, incidentally, as soon as he stops, look over that way.
All right, Tess, go.
For some reason, it just means that Tess is quicker opening the door. No idea why. Oh my god, that can be awkward, incidentally. I always pick this stuff up here. I'm not sure whether it's all necessary, but there's no significant detour. Again, there's stuff over there on that right-hand side. Don't need it.
After we get back.
You want to take it easy. And you always brush me off.
Little one here, just as you get to the end of this platform. Oh, my word, forget what I was about to say, because I actually got it wrong. If you actually go to the edge of that platform on the right-hand side, where you're supposed to be, just take yourself off the sprint button, because he can end up in the corner. Don't bother with that Molotov on the left, because you get it here. Okay, fun times.
Over there, see him?
Shit. God, we're almost out.
Right, I will explain this before I do it. Ideally, what you don't want here is to do a restart encounter if you get it wrong first time, because it changes the position of the clicker that's ahead of you. It's not more difficult, but I think it's a little bit slower as well. But this is all about the points at which you go from crouch to walk to jog. They probably don't matter a huge amount in terms of time, but if you can get them optimal. Oh my god, I've used a nerdy word. Kill me. No, if you get it right, it's good. It's pretty quick. All I can say is just watch Joel's movement. Oh, but the most important bit, I've been caught out on this section a lot by continuing Joel's crouch walk all the way to the first window aperture. Now, what I've started doing, because I've been caught out, I have had alerts. So as I get to that first window aperture, I just back off a little bit, and that tends to eliminate any problem. Anyway, here we go.
Okay, Joel, you take point. I'll watch the rear. Ellie, no matter what, you stay right on his heels. Sure. You stay sharp.
Okay, get straight to your brick. Throw the brick. That was my fault. That was actually my fault because I went into a jog when I was aiming for. But this will show you. See how different he is? It probably doesn't make any difference. But I just slow a little bit there. Okay, can't go the usual way. So I am not going to take the risk of jogging at all now. Pick up that health kit if you need it. Not all that necessary. But vital. Absolutely vital. Pick up a brick. You need to have a brick at that point. Now we can stand up.
All right, come on.
Now, get to the foot of the ladder. Crouch. And now go into your... Like I said, if you can make it, make it. And you see what I mean? What usually happens there is if you don't go into the crouch and go into your crafting, Tess just stands either in front of, behind, or in that ladder, and you can't climb. It's stupid, but it happens. If you crouch and go into crafting, generally she gets out of the way, or at least you can climb up.
Get up here.
Just back off there on the jump down, or it can take damage. Right. I can only say just watch what happens here. There's a fairly specific spot that you're aiming for on this curb.
And it is gonna run out.
Doesn't matter where you shoot, but you want to be about there. Fire the gun. Just because that can happen. So you kind of just wait. Don't try and push the crate straight away, because it's more likely that you'll get attacked. It's funny, I should be nervous about doing this. That's not what's causing the errors here. It's just slightly bad, mistimed gameplay.
Okay, that's good, go.
Now, I do recommend, as soon as you've got control, move over to your revolver. You're not using the revolver.
You got something on your shoe.
I'll try to explain why. We're going to pick up another round of revolver ammo here. And it just means that we can reload straight away.
How do we get out of this place?
As soon as you pick that up, you can do a reload. Oh, he's done it? That's controller. This can be a little bit awkward. Right, I pick up this stuff here. I'm not even sure it's all that necessary. But, you know, might as well have it.
Watch your head.
Right, next section. Right, the next section. I did watch Tim last night, and Tim did what I always used to do. Always. Is go into that room on the left-hand side and either go through the shiv door or just use it to pick up health and craftables. Honestly, you don't need it. You really don't need it. Okay. No problem, dude.
I'm alive. I'll make my way around.
Look, they're here.
Tess?
Now, this is another one where it's really, really important that you have your triangle prompt pressed for the door. Otherwise, Joel will kind of say, oh, it's a door, what am I supposed to do? I've got no idea. Throw that. Now, triangle prompt all the way, and you'll throw the door open immediately. Don't mash the triangle, just keep it pressed. That happens, don't worry about it. If there's ammo here, ignore it.
The girl.
You don't need it. That, incidentally, is pure RNG. All I would say is don't panic. What you're doing, you're just aiming to get through either of the left-hand windows. Don't go for the one on the right, because if Ellie or Tess has a plus sign, it won't go away and they'll die. So, middle or left. Now, this is... It happened to Tim last night in the same way that it happens to me at least half the time, maybe more. This is a really awkward restart encounter. What we're trying to do is get past both Ellie and Tess on the stairs. Joel needs to be in a run or a fast jog, I'm not quite sure what it is, straight away on the RE, and it's actually... Tim didn't make a mistake. It's just difficult to get, that's all. Restart encounter and... Good. He's sprinting straight away, which means you can get past them. But it doesn't always work. Ammo down there, ignore it. You don't need it. And if you go and pick it up, incidentally, Ellie or Tess can be in the way of the dumpster.
There we go. Home stretch, Tess.
Yeah, it is. And I used to pick it up all the time, Tim. And then you find you do repeated runs. This is actually pretty good. Doesn't look like it, but it's actually pretty good.
Looks like it's shallow on the right side. Follow me.
I'm glad Marlene
We will
had
use...
What do you mean? I know you guys are getting paid for this.
We will use no shotgun now
Trying to say things.
until Bill's trap, when we get all of that free revolver ammo. And another RE as soon as you see that. Again, it stops an extra bit of dialogue. It's actually quite slow. There is stuff over on the table here on the right hand side. Forget it, you don't need it.
We'll go upstairs. Probably get out from there. Just keep pushing forward.
There's craftables, stuff, pills and everything up here. Again, ignore. Not needed. Try and get your X button here. Now, run through here and keep that way, and he will pick up the rifle. Get to this corridor and slow.
I got this.
Now run again. Punch. Jump. They're dealt with. Craftables here.
What are we doing?
Health kit if you need it, but you won't. Slow down at this point.
Stay down. I don't know how many more there are.
Don't worry too much about that. Just give him a... Oh my god, I was trying to give him a punch. It didn't work. I actually tried to punch him. So, we will get shot at here. So, use this. Don't worry about health. As long as you don't die, you'll be fine. So, whatever you do, don't health up. Because once we get to Bill's town, we get full health back. Pick up that stuff if you want to. I just do, because it's there. Hey, Cornelius. Hello there, dude. Hey, it's monologue all the way tonight.
Copy that. How the hell are you breathing in this stuff?
I wasn't lying to you.
Okay, so immediately kind of
Spot him? No, place is empty.
back
Gonna find you.
and then run this way.
Find them and stay out of here before you
I wouldn't put your flashlight on here. Not at this point, because you're more likely to get an alert. But once you get here, you're fine.
We'll figure something out.
Now, this is personal preference. The reason I climb on top of the coach here is that I hate the swimming mechanic in this game. Really can't stand it. So I prefer to get on there and then run. You can swim through the coach and come back up. And apparently what I do there is a little bit slower. Not by much. But I'm actually far more likely to have Joel just stop swimming for no reason.
Look, it still works.
Right, there's another useful little RE point here. Doesn't save much. Second or so.
Ellie.
Okay.
But you're waiting for Joel to say, I got it.
Be careful.
Or, okay, I got it.
I got you.
Oops. So just line up there, and as soon as you hear him say, alright, I got it, do your restart encounter. Oops.
I got it.
That was bad. And all it does is it takes you up here.
Let's get out of here.
Again, marginal time save, but if you can perfect it in the way that I didn't, it'll save you a little bit. Yes, sub 4.
There we go.
Yeah. You'll find it comparatively easy to get to that 330 mark. Going to crouch here. And also, keep your sprint button pressed.
What?
doesn't always apply in this game, but there are a couple of points at which, if you've got the sprint button pressed, Joel will go into a sprint as soon as he can. Or he'll go into a jog in this case, but you've not got to time that to... You're not looking for a point at which you can then hit the sprint button. He'll just run.
Why don't you just take me back to Marlene?
She was up to the task. Why'd she drop you off on us?
Well, maybe she's better now.
Kid, I don't mean to upset you, but your friend's chances of survival weren't too high to begin with.
She's a lot tougher than you think.
It don't matter. 'Cause I doubt I can get either one of us back into the city in one piece. Trust me. I wish there was some other option.
No worries, Twister. Place that on the left, in the corner. If you put it anywhere else, Joel will do a stupid walk over to the right-hand side. Don't pick up that melee weapon there. Again, there's an animation. Turn.
There we go.
And your next RE point is like that. As soon as he leaves... Oops, go and hit your restart encounter. Now, Anthony always used to go around to the right, as did I. And then he started going to the left, so I thought, okay, must be quicker then.
Just watch your step. It's a good drop.
Right, we don't have a brick. I'm not sure whether it's a huge advantage to pick it up, but because it's there, it doesn't change animation. Now, here's a useful thing. Open the door, but do nothing else.
Let's jump on the other side.
Quickly craft another shiv.
Here, boost me up.
That's not such a good idea.
Well, I can't boost you up. How else are we gonna get over there?
All right, come here.
There's actually an L3 prompt and a triangle prompt there.
Nothing else.
But because you're mashing them at the same time, you actually didn't see them on the stream. But now,
Easy.
now go and raid this. And if you want to have a little bit of an exploit, fire that gun. And instead of Joel jogging all the way down this street, because the clicker is alerted, Joel will sprint a bit further.
So let's say we get a car from this buddy of yours. Then what?
Well, then we go find Tommy.
Marlene said he's your brother?
And more importantly, he was a firefly. He'd know where to take you.
Now, we may well get a drop here.
Okay.
He lives far from here.
Jesus! Thought we might.
Whoa,
Try and approach this ladder from the left. Slightly quicker animation.
Paranoid, maybe?
Now, this can be a
putting it lightly.
bastard.
What's the deal with this guy?
I can't explain it. That can just be a little bit awkward there. Don't bother with stuff here. Don't bother.
He knows how to find things.
Well, let's hope we don't blow up trying to find him.
Now,
Just watch your step.
if you place this right, as you're running over, triangle prompt.
Here,
And he'll pick that up straight away.
use this.
Don't do the triangle prompt before you're on the plank. That has a different effect.
It's all clear. Come on up.
All right.
Obviously, the sooner that you can place that plank there, the quicker Joel is running again. Right, don't do anything with the clicker here. Keep your sprint button pressed. He'll just move a bit quicker. Stupid how you have to do that climb
Now
down
listen.
animation twice there. Don't
Bill ain't
understand
exactly
that.
the most
Right, move back over to your
individuals.
revolver
When we get there,
so you can
you
pick
let me
this
do
up
the
and
talking.
reload.
you understand?
Pick up the brick and then do something stupid. Walk into a bomb.
You gotta be clear on this. You don't take too kindly to strangers. Those are good guys.
But walking into that bomb, for some reason, do it on the left-hand side, as far as you can get. If the closer you are to the bomb, even though you're right next to it,
Bill's stupid
it
traps.
does a lot more damage. Don't know why. Game logic.
There.
That fridge, it looks like that's a counterweight.
Okay.
Okay, there's a pattern here. I can't explain it while I'm doing it. All I can suggest is look at the VOD and memorise it. We can have one from the left,
On it.
and then a pattern coming from the right-hand side. What you don't want to do here is get grabbed by a clicker. While Joel is in this first phase, a clicker grab, even on easy, is death. So,
Shit, here they come.
always reload. Always. As soon as you have the opportunity, reload. 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 Okay, now we're done for this section.
Hey, Tom, Ellie.
So at least we can't get grabbed.
You alright?
Remember, you have an unlimited amount of revolver ammo here.
Here's some ammo.
That doesn't do anything, incidentally. Right, so first guy will come through here. Eventually. They're not always the quickest.
Come on. It's not funny.
That was unfortunate. Right, reload. This one's a little bit more awkward. And then clicker.
Close.
Reload. And we're done. Yeah, so all I can say is just kind of watch that again and memorise the patterns. Check what we got. Reload if you can. Don't need to. You've got to watch Bill. You've got to watch Bill close that door there. If he doesn't, you can get attacked, which is kind of really weird. Again, make up stuff because you can. Craft it because you can.
Come on, Ellie. Damn. Where's the goddamn key?
That positioning by the door is actually quite important. It means that Joel can get through straight away, and you don't need to do anything here.
Bill, they're coming to the door.
Okay, so pick up all of this stuff here, then go backwards.
Hey, thank you.
Get your melee weapon. Right, this. It happened to Tim, as it happens to me so often. What you've got to do here is really, really push forward to try to get into that little corner. And if it goes right, Bill will take a step backwards at the top of the steps. He didn't. Wow. So this doesn't matter. Bill is going to go through ahead.
What kind of trouble are you in?
But if that works, if Bill does take a step backwards, it means that you can get through ahead of him here. But what you have to do is go to that wall ahead of you at the top and just wait half a second or so. And then you'll get to that other doorway where where Bill goes through first, and you'll bump him out of the way. For some reason, it just didn't work there. We're not talking about a serious time loss, though. Roby! Hello there, dude.
Where the hell's Tess?
It's just a job. Simple drop-off.
What are you delivering?
So, be ready with your brick here.
Little brat.
Haha. Fuck you too.
You can get past Bill here.
Oh. You know, I hope you know what you're doing.
Jump over here, restart. As he lands, you can hear the foot on the ground.
Go inside.
Brick. Health.
Take care of that. Relax, it's nothing. So, you didn't answer my question about Tess. I thought the two of you were inseparable.
Well, we use little moments like that to do things like reloading guns. I always go about roughly here. That should be alright.
So, why don't you fix one of these cars?
Go and get me brick.
God, you're a genius.
Make up another.
Why on earth hadn't I thought about fixing one of these cars?
Okay, don't be a dick.
The tires are rotted and the batteries are dead. I didn't even begin to think what the inside of the engine block looked like. Only ones making new car batteries are the
Wow. That was unlucky. Well, useful bill. Useful bill. Okay.
All right. We gotta check the barricades again. You neglect the simple shit, and now you're paying for it.
Right, beautiful thing about easy is, look, we have a nice, fresh melee weapon.
Bill, Joel, this way.
Now, I would say that this isn't strictly necessary, but the reason why you can pick this stuff up is because there's dialogue that you're waiting for to finish before you can open this thing here. So you've actually got time, if you need to do a little bit of crafting. Might as well.
Nothing.
Right down here.
So you're not losing any time by crafting, picking that stuff up. This is weird, going around that post there instead of left, which is more direct. Changes dialogue. Timing, mostly.
This is a nail bomb. You gotta be really careful. This thing blows, it shreds anybody standing nearby.
Now, this is only my way of doing it. I don't actually think it's necessary. But I craft one because I can.
Shotguns and bombs. What the hell are we doing with them?
Well, every few weeks this military caravan.
Go around to the left here.
I assume they're out
To
looking
pick up
for
all of
supplies.
these
You'd be
goodies.
amazed at the shit that they overlook.
These hundreds of goodies.
A few months back,
And it just means that you're
rolling through,
nicely
you know,
lined up here for the stairs.
They were all over the truck. The
Okay.
plow's right in the side of the high school.
Reload,
Sitting there
because
with
you
the
can.
battery in.
So we take that battery and we put it in another car.
Bingo.
Now, although it's not strictly necessary, I'm going to use this opportunity to both craft another nail bomb and switch out to the rifle.
Nah, those trucks are like tanks. Just sitting there.
Actually might work.
Wow.
Nice place you got here.
Time to sack
Okay,
up.
so switch out to the rifle, craft, and he's only just opened the door, the windows. I know the difference between doors and windows. I'm an architect.
Ellie, come on.
Look, there's a school.
All right.
Ready?
Guess we'll find out.
Right, and at long last, we can actually have some genuine blast them all to pieces fun here. It's been a while.
Oh, man.
Past this gate, it's all new territory to me.
I'm on it.
Okay. You guys hear that?
Got dropped, good. You won't always, incidentally. Very generous. That's nice.
Joel?
Doing that, Anthony does it, so I do it because it's a laugh. Right, I would recommend, this is my own way of doing it, but I would recommend being in crouch mode here. And as soon as you get past this dumpster, go back into your sprint. Quickly swap back out to your shotty. No, he's going to be useless again. Joel has got some of the worst companions ever in the history of gaming. We've still got one more to deal with. Freaking Bill, useless.
Run. I can help you kill some of these
The doggy
fuckers.
door? Shut up. Shut up.
Of course.
Maybe you should have
The crouch is useful there.
Okay, Bill.
But we're okay. We've got loads of ammo. Sprint to the end of this fence. Slow to a jog.
I ain't seen this
Sprint.
yet. Stay down.
Hug the corner. And restart. And we're good.
I think we're good.
Go to the left here. Again, just changes what Bill does and it gets him where you want him to be.
We're all fine. Let's just keep going.
Pick up the arrows if you can. If you can. Well, Bill has been useless once, which means that he's always capable of being useless twice.
Sticking out of the school right there. Come on. There's a bunch of them up there.
Just as he was. Swap back out. Load it. Well, timing. It's all right. What we're going to do is just use a bit of violence. If that happens, run over this way. Let them come at you. Again, just making sure that every time you can reload.
Well, that was easier than I thought it'd
And
be.
one of the reasons for it is you're actually more likely to get drops. The game thinks that you're empty. And it's actually quite right.
Don't get killed up there.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, the high school. We love the high school. And it's surprisingly easy.
We just need to get to the hood of the truck.
Little bit RNG-ish, but usually it's quite good. RE point here. Right, so we're going to go into a sprint. Get ready with the shotty. And the best thing to do here is to just go for this clicker. Right. That was because I accidentally hit left 2, should I say. Bill's sign will disappear as soon as you get through.
Move it.
That's why you want to get through that section as quickly as you can. Because we're all right now. Whew. Wow. Like I said, oh, sorry. Yeah, like I said, in that first area there, if Bill gets a plus sign, as long as you've got through to the second, well, to the classroom, it's the only classroom. Once you've got through to the classroom, it will disappear.
Come on. More on the way. Barricade the door.
So you don't need to go back and save him. Not that you'd actually want to.
They're gonna hold him for long. That don't sound good.
Okay, Molly. I always find the lock on better. Oops. That was bad. That might not work.
Ellie, just stay away from me.
Okay, I actually knew what happened there. I know what happened. The lock-on disappeared on the Molly. That's what you want. Now we're all right.
Stick with me.
What? What? Right, there is an RE point. I don't understand that. 2 mollies and an L-bomb. Didn't kill him.
Let's go, people.
The RE point there actually saves more time than you think. It's weird. You tend to just be waiting for ages. I think it's about 3 or 4 lines of dialogue before he will actually boost Fat Boy up.
All right. Go. All right, come on.
Okay. Now, important thing to remember here is invincibility frames. Those two are fine. But this guy here has, I reckon, about 4 or 5 seconds of invincibility frames before you can do anything. So you might as well go and raid that room at the end. Storage cupboard, I should say. Right, good old Bill. You did Tim yesterday. Wanted to try and get off that corner. That corner is ideal. Mash your X button. Or, guaranteed, if you're not mashing the X as you get to that ladder, guaranteed Fat Boy will push you out of the way. Another RE. Now, because you can. And it just means that when we get through to this back room here, we can pick everything up. Couple of rounds here that we can have. Swap out to your revolver.
Good idea.
Let me know when you're ready to finish this thing.
All right, let's do it.
Now, I don't usually get this. Tim got this first time last night.
Already did it.
Just keep your foot on the clutch, and when we get to
I know how to pop a clutch.
how the hell did... You know what? I don't care. Just don't fuck it up.
All right, Ellie, get ready.
Now, hit it. Hit it.
No, it took too long.
Your side, your left.
Hey.
I do find that incredibly difficult for some reason. So, we got 2. 2 is alright.
Back to the truck.
Joel is really slow on reloading the shotgun on this section. No idea why. Now, don't pick up the shotgun ammo here.
Don't have much time. Back to pushing.
We are going to, incidentally. We will pick it up. But the ideal is to get out of this section fully loaded. So, because we're going to be using shotgun again here... Oh, wow.
Get off. Let's get her to the hill.
So, this is the point at which to pick it up. Because now... By the time we get to the end of the street, we can make sure that everything is loaded. I used to always pick up on the second phase.
Alright, Ellie, start it up.
But we're good now.
Hear that sound, Bill?
Yeah. Well, that means you're back in here.
Mash, mash, mash.
Go, go, for it.
I'm going to take a pee break. Let's let the cutscene play.
All right, this'll do. Stop.
Just keep her running, all right?
That girl nearly got us killed.
You gotta admit, she did hold her own back there.
You ain't gonna make it. Oh. Here.
What's this?
You'd be amazed at how many cars still got gas in them.
Appreciate it. Look, Bill, about your buddy back there, that's a tough deal. And
We square.
we're square.
and get the fuck out of my town.
You come into my house.
Oh, man.
Hey, what happened to sleeping?
Okay. I know it doesn't look like it, but this here is not a bad read. Only one problem. Right there. To be continued. I hate cliffhangers.
Where did you get that?
Back at Bill's. I mean, all this stuff was just lying there.
What else did you get?
Well... Here. This make you all nostalgic?
You know, that is actually before my time. That is a winner, though.
Well, better than nothing. Oh. I'm sure your friend will be missing this tonight. Light up.
Something really, really important, and I was going to forget to mention it. There is a very easy way to get yourself banned from speedrunning forever. Hang on, what's that? Corey with the host. Thank you, Corey. Thank you for that. You have to be able to sing, and if you can't, I'm sorry. You'll be banned forever. We met in the springtime when blossoms unfold. And it has to be in tune.
Okay. I'm okay.
Then get out.
So, now you know. Right, we're going to do a restart encounter here. As soon as we get control after this opening section, we're going to do a restart. And the reason for that is it gives a much better position for the first 4 enemies. We do need to do this. This isn't a lying square prompt. Sprint.
I'll show you.
Square. Now, because we're playing New Game Plus, your revolver should be completely upgraded. So I'm going to use revolver here all the way through. Now, as soon as you've got control of Joel, now, do a restart encounter. Switch out to that. And the great thing is the last guy, reload, the last guy who's only got a melee weapon, we can get him straight away. If you want to, it's not absolutely necessary, but if you want to, you've got just enough time to go and pick up some supplies there. Now, I actually use shotgun here. I know it's slightly quicker to shoot through the bus, but we don't need shotgun as much as we need rifle. So I'm going to save it.
Holy shit.
Because you don't need to do anything there. As soon as he slows to a jog, that's your restart encounter point. It's quite difficult to spot. Joel is still like alerted for a while there, and he sprints. As soon as he slows to a jog, that's when to do your restart encounter point. And it will have you facing where you want to be. And we're good to go. This is one where you have to mash instead of hold.
All right, go. See if you can get it propped open with something.
There's some pretty gnarly stuff in here.
But I might as well just mention it again. Did you notice on that RE? And I don't actually think that it applies to the unpatched version. I think on unpatched, you still have one of those 4 guys who ends up on the left-hand side. But certainly on patched, all 4 of them are basically together. The 4th one, the last one, the one who's got the melee weapon, I don't think he shows in such a way that it's easy to get a headshot on him, which is why I run through and just beat the shit out of him. It's just works better for me. You may well find that when you're doing it, you can get a headshot on him, in which case, bonus.
Okay, go!
I never bother trying to pick up the stuff on the left here, because every time I try it, I end up picking up the smoke bomb, and there's an animation. So, I don't bother. I know that Anthony picks up the rag, or whatever it is, by the door, but I just don't bother. And everything is loaded. Right, as soon as you respond to this triangle prompt here, another restart encounter point just takes you through the door. Now, I'm going to go for my tried and trusted strat here.
The bridge. That's our way out of here.
There are better ways of doing it.
Hey, Ellie, slow down. Wait
And 100 bitties from Betty.
Right here.
Bitties from Betty. Thank you, dude.
First, and keep your voice down.
Okay.
Pick up this stuff. Be ready with your Molotov. I don't think there's oh my god, that doesn't help. I don't think there's a preferred route through here.
Get down.
Oh, good.
This is quite a specific throw. Wait for that guy to appear. Wait for the second guy to appear. Pick up that. Now, with any luck, we've got just enough time
We'll get there.
to craft that molly before the triangle prompt appears here. Yeah, we have. So we're waiting anyway.
Strange seeing a checkpoint with no soldiers.
This is what most zones look like. This place has been abandoned.
It's because
for a
it
while.
takes the game a little while to realise that the third guy isn't in the equation. There are actually 3 guys there. Right, run here. Just slow to a jog at that point. Make sure you got your brick ready. Jog. Now sprint. And as soon as you get the lock on this guy, now you can run past. Oh, that's important. That's important there. As you get to the edge of that roof, I mean, we're okay. We've got so much health, it doesn't matter. But if you're sprinting as you jump off the end of that roof, he will miss. I think it's like an air conditioning unit or something. He'll miss that and he'll take damage as he lands. So you just want to slow down and then jump off. You're a bit late, dudes. Right, we're going to be taking the opportunity in this bit here. We're going to do a little bit of swapping out. I don't think we need to do any crafting, which is good. But 2 things are important. Switching over to arrow. And also
I don't think they saw us.
making sure that we leave with a brick.
There's our bridge. We're a little closer. I think.
Let's keep at it. Come on.
If you get me up there, I can move that plank.
Why do I dive? Why do I dive? Good question, because people tell me it's no quicker than Joel swimming. I've just got so used to it now, I do it all the time. Somehow it feels quicker, but apparently it's not. I'm just used to it.
What was that all about?
Get over it. We're coming to the hotel.
Okay.
Now, because it's in grounded and supplies are rare, Anthony collects craftable stuff here. We don't need to, because we're full. But there is a bit of stuff up there. So, while we're just waiting for Ellie, swap out to the arrow. Got nothing to craft, which is good. But as we jump up onto that
Now you just need to find a way up.
awning thing here,
Do you think
there's
the
a
tunnel
brick,
should run?
and we do need to pick it up.
Find out.
Because we're going to be using it straight away, really.
It's clear, Ellie. Come on down.
You don't need to pick this stuff up here, but that's what, a second, 2 seconds?
No, this is too rich for my blood.
Hillian! Hello there, dude. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right, this one is all about the timing. It's when to stop sprinting. First of all, get your brick ready.
Watch your step.
Throw the brick. Anywhere in that corner will do. Don't bonk against anything. Sprint, 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 and jog. As soon as you get to that, jog, and then back into your sprint, and you're fine. Now, again, it's not necessary, but because it's right there, I pick that up anyway. Get ready with your arrow. Crouch. And you will always have the opportunity to craft that. Wait until those two guys... That second one there is a little bit slow. Doesn't matter. They've got to be out of sight. Get that guy. And you can sprint straight through. But you have to make sure that those two are out of sight. In other words, that they've gone into the room.
Let's see where this goes.
Right, time to swap out again. Oops.
It's gonna be a tight fit, but
Just in case.
Right, because we don't need the bow and arrow for a bit. Nothing to craft. Look at Ellie. Make sure that you're looking at Ellie or she won't jump down.
let me find me something to climb on.
Tea?
Here we go.
Tea? At this time? Might be a different time for you, of course.
Joel!
I'm all right. Are you okay?
No! You scared the shit out of me!
Ah, okay. I forgive you then.
No! Stay out there. I'll make my way up to you.
I'll try.
So, remarkably awkward little movement there, but we got it. Now, swimming mechanics. Sometimes Joel will just stop underwater for no reason. If it happens, just tap the circle, and he'll start moving again. Like that. Go to the right here, because it just works better. Oops, that was me. I double pressed there. Okay. I always go this way just to double check that we can't pick anything up. But go through there. Roughly kind of in the doorway. Near enough. That's killed one. Up there, up there. Pick up the brick. Brick is important. Brick is your backup there. Just check. I think we're all right. Keep running away. Not on easy mode. No, there's no bloater on easy. But arguably, even on grounded, when there is a bloater, it doesn't make that section any more difficult if you're using that strat with the nail bomb.
So much for that.
Because it gets pulled down the stairs. Right, I prefer revolver here. You could probably use rifle. But sprint, crouch, headshot, headshot. Now, if you want here, use rifle. He's the best one to get rid of first. I don't know where the other guy is. There he is. Yeah, he's got a habit of hiding. Now, the reason I don't mind using rifle ammo there is that once we get down to the corridor, just after this section, we can replenish. And it only takes a couple of seconds. Right, first time here, you do need the square button for this section. But if you want to have a sip of wine or tea, you can do it now, because the second one is a lie. Ready for the cutscene. Make sure... Yeah. If you haven't got a brick, there's one there. In a picture frame.
We need to get back out.
It's a brick
find
chair.
that bridge.
It's a brick chair. Yeah, okay.
I hate this crap.
Okay, so we're now fully loaded, fully healthed. I'll try, yeah, that little movement there. I prefer to stay over to the right-hand side if I can, as I'm jumping over that. If you try and jump over the middle part, Ellie just goes ping, and she's right in front of you, and she blocks you. Very annoying. It doesn't lose a huge amount of time, but it just makes you want to hit her in the face.
Might be able to get there with this. All right. Damn, this is what I thought. Hey, how about a hand?
You sure you can trust me with
Yeah,
that?
it can be. It certainly can be. Not on easy, I would say, because you get so much ammo.
I am.
Push harder.
There, how's that?
Let's go.
And again, you can probably see on the controller, I've always got the sprint button pressed. Even in areas where I know that you can't sprint. Okay. Great section. How to explain it. What we're trying to do is throw the nail bomb so that it takes out all but... You won't kill everybody, but it will take out the first 4 guys. Then there's one in the background, and ideally you want to use a rifle on him. Then you'll find a guy running over to the right. Not always predictably. You don't really know entirely where he's going to go. But that first group first with an nail bomb. Then there's a guy in the background over to the right. Then you run straight forward with your Molotov to take out the guys who come through at the back. Then we're going to turn and try to take out the guy with the Molotov in the right-hand building, and also the guy at the top. With any luck, we then have the second wave come through at the back, and our second Molotov on them should kill all but one, but that's when Ellie kind of really comes into her own, and she can do a lot for you. So this is what we want here. Switch over to that. Roughly there. Get ready. Get him. Get him.
Not bad.
Get the Molotov. Turn round. Get him.
Come into my house.
That guy at the top hasn't shown up. There he is. Second Molotov. And that should be it. We didn't pick it up. Damn
come on
it!
down.
Don't worry too much. Very, very important thing there. Once you've killed the last guy, anything that gets dropped despawns after this cutscene. So it can be really maddening if you don't pick it up. Fortunately, we're in a good position. We've got plenty of stuff, but it's like when it doesn't happen, it really annoys you. Okay, turn around and pick up the
Now the safety's on.
rifle ammo here. Load it
You ought
up.
to switch it off.
I do.
But as we get through to the next
Gotta
section,
respect it. This is not.
Joel, I'll be careful.
Okay.
that is all memory, Tim. Honestly, it's just all memory. You just become familiar with what the pattern is. And yes, there is a little bit of RNG there. It's not always that good.
Stupid chain is stuck. Hold on.
I am.
There.
I think the most important part of that is that the nail bomb takes out 4. Right, I do that because Ellie, her positioning there, it didn't quite work. Her positioning usually puts you right in the corner.
Oh shit! Get down! Get down!
Oh, by the time we get to Science Building, the inventory is going to be so different.
Busy couple of days, huh?
But Tim, what I would do is, because you've now completed the game, I would say load. Financial District is actually a load point, I think. Let me think. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's a chapter.
Damn, no food.
So you could keep
Shoes.
practicing.
We got nothing. Let's go.
It is a chapter. Okay. And honestly, you know, you'd be thinking, oh, have I got to spend hours doing that? No, honestly, Tim,
Nothing we could have done.
once you kind of get used to the pattern, it'd probably take you, what, half an hour? Something like that? Right, we're going to do another swap here.
Let's just get to that.
We need to swap back to the bow and arrow. Vital for the next section. But we can do that here. Go into a crouch. Do your crafting. Switch out to your bow.
There better have been an army in that truck.
Him. Pick up that stuff. Crouch. Don't sprint here, just carefully work your way through. So, get him. Stay in crouch. Don't get this second guy too quickly, or it will cause an alert. Let him get... Because then that guy there doesn't know what's happened. And there you go. Nice and quick. We got at least 1 arrow back, which is great.
The edge of the universe and back.
Might get 2. Yeah, we did.
Savage Starlight. That comic I've been reading? That's what the
Here,
hero says
come here,
after a
Ellie.
big battle.
Endure and survive.
Yeah.
Oh, switching out with sprint. I can't do that.
There you go.
Now, health. Okay, this looks weird. The reason I'm healthing up here is to use the this next strat. If you haven't got full health, you probably won't make it. I mean, it's difficult to do anyway. Now, I don't know precisely where the RE point is here, but I leave it till about there. Should be enough. Get the brick. Right, make sure it's over the fence. That should be all right. Jump through. Jump through, jump through, jump through, jump through. Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. Pop through. Go over to the right there. Pick up the bottle, because we need a throwable. One punch on him is alright. Don't need to take him out. Ellie's plus sign will disappear. Don't worry about that. I struggle with this. Okay. Again, there are craftables here. Don't bother with them. Just don't need them. It's all available later on. Without detour.
We're okay. They can't see us.
Follow me.
Now, you don't need to do this. I just do it because of the time it takes for Henry to open the door. So there's a little bit of craftable stuff there. Not much,
Really?
but it's enough.
I heard some bad stuff going on down there.
We gotta be careful. We're right next.
Right, this is awkward. This is really, really awkward. Crouch. X.
This is just you and your daughter.
I promised someone I'd look after.
Yeah. I can appreciate that.
Okay, a little bit clumsy, but it was okay. Boing!
Wait. Everyone be quiet. Get away from the windows. They're gone.
That's got, yeah, it's a weird little trick.
It's been hounding us ever since we got in this damn.
I think it was an ant
Sam, what are you
discovery.
doing?
I think.
Nothing. Get rid of
He's
it.
discovered most of the strats in this game.
My backpack is practically empty.
What's the rule about taking stuff?
But it's quite awkward. Sorry, I might as well explain it because we're not doing a timed thing. What I tend to find, and it worked kind of okay on that occasion, but usually I think it's the second hop over that I do. Very often Henry just blocks me completely, and by the time I'm able to jump over the third one, Henry's already ahead. Very, very annoying.
Rule. What is it?
We only take what we have to.
That's right. Now come on.
Right, we have a few moments by the door here just
Or is
to
this place?
check inventories. See if we can craft. We can't. We are going to switch out to... we're going to switch that to the bow and arrow and that to the rifle, but we don't need to do it yet. Pick up this stuff first here. Switch to your Molotov. Run through.
What'd you find?
Just get anywhere. That'll do. Might as well have that. And this is my favourite bit. Let Henry get up here first.
Bad old timer.
Just make sure that he climbs up
on this
first.
truck.
Oh, those are orgasmic headshots. I love those so much. Right, a weird thing now. A weird thing about this game. You know what it's like? Cutscenes, or longer cutscenes anyway, and especially when it's like overnight stuff.
Being so close to them.
I'm the only one who came
You get your full health
Get
back.
that.
I killed one of them.
Not on
I'm
this
missing
bit.
Now. Everybody through.
Not on this bit. So, because this is quite a difficult section to do, we are going to health up. But we've got loads of time here. So, health up first. Switch that to shotty. Switch that to rifle. And then switch that back to bow and arrow. Everything else is loaded. So, we're good. Now, this next section, it's tricky. I probably won't get it right first time. But this is why we needed to have a throwable. Absolutely essential. Like glue. Okay.
Close, okay.
This is fingers crossed. You might. This is another section to practice over and over and over.
Comforting.
Relax, old man.
I just hope you know the way.
Okay. Now, the reason I've swapped that way is it means that at least that is in the first slot. I'm not going to do a double move across. That's why I have it that way around. But you've got plenty of time by the door before that last cutscene to swap everything around. Now, this is so tough. Bottle, as soon as you get the lock on. Arrow. Arrow. Perfect.
Hey, you hear that? Yeah, I hear it, but I don't see shit.
Arrow. Oh, Molotov.
Find something to hide behind.
Perfect.
Henry,
So, what can I say about that? Well, first of all, it went right. Whew. But that is one. It's obviously you'd have to practice that. I've been doing that for at least a good few months, and I went through it over and over and over. And kept getting it wrong, But now I get it right more often than wrong. But it's still not 100%. It's quite a tough one to do.
All right. You ready?
Now, if you want to save a little bit of time, you can kill this guy up here. I just use the pistol. But don't worry, if you don't kill him, Henry will.
Wait.
Try and get the headshot.
Oh no. God.
All right, check it out.
Henry kills him after about 5 seconds or something like that. So if you want to save your ammo,
Sam, let's go. All right, kid, come on. There you go.
Tim, when you got through into the bar area last night, you didn't do the restart encounter, did you? And it was still okay. Are you like me playing on patched? Oh, actually, no, it doesn't matter because I've had the camera glitch even on patched. I'll do the restart encounter anyway.
Come on. Shit.
This is a restart encounter to actually prevent a game glitch. Which doesn't happen all the time, but it can.
We gotta get him up.
I'm sorry. We're leaving.
What? What's this bullshit?
Okay. It's whether Tim, do you use the digital version of the game or the physical, the disc copy? Because if you're on the digital version, then you have patched. Use the digital. Right, so you're on the latest patch. You can't play it without the latest patch. There were a total of 10 patches issued over time for the game. All little improvements, or apart from 107, which was like hell.
Hey, now!
What the fuck, Henry?
A patch is just an update to the software, that's all. Okay, so pick stuff up here if you can. But as you get through this doorway here, do a restart encounter. The reason for it is nothing to do with getting a time advantage or anything like that. It's just that sometimes if you don't do the restart encounter, the camera keeps panning over to the right-hand wall.
Stay
And
right on my ass.
you can't stop it. It's an absolute bugger. And Harry Prian with the follow. Thank you, dude. Okay, to the molly, jump over. This bit can be quite awkward. That looks kind of okay. Didn't kill everybody, but get that brick. That brick is so important. Oh my god, I missed 2. Right, he needs something stronger. Okay, he's ducked, so he can do that. My god, that... That was really, really lucky. The Molotov only killed one, but I cannot stress it enough. We picked up the brick, and if you don't, you can almost wave bye-bye to getting through the stalker room in the sewers. Well, it becomes a lot more difficult. Right, head towards the back of this cop car. That just removes an animation of Joel stumbling. Not that stumbling, but the other one. Okay, we're good.
We're gonna search this area, see what we come up with.
That was intense.
Again, because we can't do anything here.
Yeah.
Just make sure you've got everything loaded.
Radio tower.
And as soon as he can sprint, he will. Well, it's not a sprint, but... another restart encounter point coming up here, which actually saves quite a lot. As soon as Joel climbs up onto this rock here, do a restart. And... bingo! We're right by the sewer outlet.
Alright, come on, kids, go.
And this is where Henry tells Sam to switch off his flashlight, and Henry has his flashlight on because Henry's a bit of a dick. Okay.
Flashlight's out. Sam, stay.
Back into crouch.
Someone's finally learning.
And your sprint point, fingers off, but as you get to the end of that pipe, that's when you can sprint.
Which way?
That's when you can jog, sorry.
Joel, we should see what's over here.
I was called it the sprint button, which is why I use the word sprint. And another restart encounter point. Oh god, this game is full of them. These guys are a little bit behind us now. So what we do is we just get to like the end of this passageway here. About here. Do restart encounter, and there they are! They've reappeared.
Can we get out this way?
You have to use your X button there to come back up. But as soon as that starts moving, now dive.
I'm gonna have a look. You keep an eye out.
Approach that kind of flat on. Sometimes not only is the animation slower, he'll kind of walk around, almost like walking around in a circle before he'll throw it over the side. It's very, very weird. Right, this is the bit where we would try not to fall off the platform.
Oh, this thing.
Let's go, Willie.
Bane of my
there you
life.
go.
This.
That's smart.
I am absolutely convinced that the control panel thing at the end, I think it's got some kind of artifact on it that you can't see. It's just like a hitbox.
Let's see if that generator's still got some juice.
And if you catch it, it catches you and throws you in the water. Okay, another weapon swap. In fact, do it the other way. Okay, go into a crouch. Get yourself over here. Sam, you're frozen. He always does. Okay, and there. That's difficult to explain. But don't do it too early and don't do it too late, otherwise you'll probably end up in the water. Yet another restart encounter. As soon as Joel can move.
It's a sort of alarm.
There. Restart encounter. You'll get a little bit of a black screen thing. But it's a lot quicker than walking through. And yet another one. As soon as you get through this gate, restart encounter. Which means he's quick. Not only that, but these guys are a bit quicker as well. Get the health if you want it.
Seeing how there was a clicker that had been going for a while.
And this is why you have to have the brick. And it's not even guaranteed that having the brick means you'll get through first time. But without it, it's really, really tough. Oh, Jimmy, why did you say that?
This is awkward.
Yeah.
Damn it.
What? Hey, this thing isn't budging, man. Just go.
Well, I got wine.
Sam, you stay close to him.
Henry, we gotta fucking
Right.
move.
You've got to just watch for the stalkers here. Even though they don't necessarily give you all the information that you need, you still need to look out for them. So, first thing to do, get yourself a brick, and then hope. Right, got one. Oh, he's moved away. Okay, throw this before that is really alerted, and you're through. Oh no, that happens.
Move it.
So, we got lucky. We got lucky. What will often happen there is that as you run through that first section, there will be a stalker in the way. So make sure that you're armed with a brick so you can hit it. Because it's usually harder to get round, harder to avoid. Because as you might think that a stalker is kind of 5 or 6 meters away from you. And it is. Believe me, it is. But as you try to run past it, it magically, boom, and it'll grab you. And the stalkers do a lot of damage, unfortunately. As you get to that, the ladder here, get ready to hit the triangle prompt. As you saw with me, sometimes you can't hit it. You've got to turn around because there's a stalker. Sometimes a clicker in that corridor. That's fine. You could shoot it. But always check. Keep turning and checking for that triangle prompt. Because once it appears, you're safe. You're okay. But one more thing. Even once Sam is up here, still turn around and double check. Even though there's one on the way, we've got time. But it could have been a lot closer. So you have to be ready to kill it just in case.
Joel, that's them. Sam!
Oh, thank God. We gotta keep running. Over there.
Sam!
Your mum didn't order me a pizza, so it's still not a good thing. Just saying.
Ellie, get away from the door. Maybe if we push it together.
Now, there is another melee weapon here, which Sam is going to drop for us. It's that, there, in the door. But we don't need it. We're fine.
All right, go. Everyone upstairs, let's go.
Right, this is the one that you can't do ungrounded. If you're speed running, anyway. We have a luxury here, Tim, you'll be glad to know. Something you can do. Now, you have to make sure that you're by the door here to... I noticed this last night. You've got to stay here to make sure that the conversation gets triggered.
Damn thing stuck!
Damn thing stuck is your cue. Run over here. Just wait with a smoke bomb. All you need to do. It doesn't really matter where it lands, but this general area. Wait for them to appear. Actually, just wait for them to kind of...
right on my ass.
That will do. Okay? All you need to do now is run to the door and nothing. And Kendra McGill with the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to the Bant Colony. Nice to see you here. Come say hello if you want. Am I? Am I? Yeah, I will. I will, because we'll get more shit later on. We'll be fine. But literally, you don't need to do anything at all here. Works on the principles of don't look at the monsters and they won't look at you. In fact, I can pour a wine here.
We got it.
Let's go, let's go.
One smoke bomb. That's all you need. Now, you couldn't do that on the grounded run that Anthony does. He used to do it on an earlier version. But now he needs a smoke bomb for later. And if he uses one there, he can't get enough supplies for the next one that he needs. So, yeah, his strat has changed.
So where's this tower?
We're close. Come on, let's go. Hey, how you doing, little man?
That was a close one, huh?
Yeah, not one of our finest moments, but...
And look at that. Full health.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Yep, what'd I tell you, huh?
Just find a
And
way
it's
around.
almost guaranteed that if you use the newer strat in that last room, you'll take a little bit of damage,
Right. When I was with Henry,
which can be a problem on this sniper section.
Yeah.
So going into this with full health is it's a big plus. Bit like the Swiss flag. Do you know you're so funny?
Get out!
Fucking sniper. Did you see where it came from?
Somewhere down the street. All right now. Y'all stay here.
No.
Before you start, I need you guys to keep him busy. I'm gonna go around and see if I can't get the angle on him.
Okay. Hey. Be careful.
Hardest part of this can be the very beginning. Okay, we're good. Sometimes you get a little bit bonked on Ellie.
Ah, there you are.
That little bit of routing there is actually quite important. You've got to hop over those bins. Now this bit here can be awkward. It's fine. Slow down a little bit there. Now pick that up. And this as well can be tricky. Don't try to do a jump over there. Don't press the X button to try and jump, because Joel will land on the wrong side of the fence, and that is big trouble. Oops. We can pick this stuff up here. You can jump over the railings there, but it's not a big advantage. Right, this is all memory now coming up. The principle of this next section is all left and then all right. That's the principle. This is another area where all I could say is just try to memorize it, because it's impossible to explain. Third guy is up there. Oh, down there. Now, why was he late? He's very... I got him? Fuck me. Wow. Didn't it... No, he was dead for a bit. He was dead for a little bit. That's a weird one. I think the game... Oh, right, okay. I was going to say, I think that confused the game. The pattern is reasonably predictable, but that was just weird. Okay, that's it for that section now. As soon as you hear that music, that's when that's going to appear. And our first guy will appear roughly where the back wheel is. Eventually. That was bad. As you can tell, this is impossible to actually explain. All you can do is memorize it. Damn it. Oh, I missed him. Wow. Ha! Doesn't matter, incidentally. Don't worry, you're going to lose, what, 3 or 4 seconds, maybe? So your positioning there is roughly kind of that pillar of the car. Sometimes you need a little bit of adjustment as he comes out. But it's a good marker.
Shit. Oh, that was intense.
You all right, Sam?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Thanks, Joel.
So that was far from perfect,
Stay right on my
but
ass.
Look at this.
unless you miss really, really
right.
badly and one of those
did
guys
it.
gets killed, you're not going to lose a huge amount of time. And Killer Loot with the follow. Killer, welcome, dude.
Sam!
Don't aim for that first one. You basically can't kill it.
Sam, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Come on, come on!
So you
Let's
don't need to
move.
do anything here. Target practice. If you want target practice, yeah. It's good fun. Funny thing is, with auto aim, it will lock on to one that you've killed. And that makes it really up. Look at that. I'm stuck. Can't move. Locks on to dead bodies. How useful is that, huh? Okay, get ready with your restart encounter here.
Jackson County.
Now, I will
Means
use
we're close to Jackson City,
my
right?
old Maria Strat here.
You ready to see dear old brother?
I'm just ready to get there.
You nervous?
Mainly because I've not perfected the newer one.
What happened between you two?
What do you mean?
You and Tommy. You're not together, so clearly something.
We just had a bit of a disagreement.
I just take the sprint button off
here we
there
go.
for that jump. Otherwise, he
So what was
can.
it about?
He won't
We
get
saw
injured,
one
but he
way,
jumps
I
too
saw
far.
And that's why he joined the Fireflies.
Yeah, your friend Marlene promised him hope. That kept him busy for a while, but just like Tommy, he eventually quit that too.
How was it? The last time you saw him?
What next?
I believe his
High
last
five.
words to me were, I don't
Yeah,
ever
go on.
want to see your goddamn face.
I love you guys. You can have a high five.
But he's gonna help us?
I suppose we're gonna find out.
Oh? They're without his help?
Let's just get going.
Oh, one thing to say here. I'll try to explain it first. This is a little twat of... I think it's a glitch. I honestly think it's a glitch. When you dive into this submerged hut and you need to get the triangle prompt for the pallet, you have to get it first time. So with that in mind, I would say that as soon as you get through and you're kind of moving, just keep mashing the triangle. Don't wait for it to appear, just keep mashing it. Because the thing is, if it appears and you don't hit it at the right moment, it doesn't reappear. And you've got to take Joel all the way back up to the surface and dive again. Huge waste of time and for no reason at all. So like I said, circle button and steering to get Joel into this submerged hut, but then mash the triangle because you have to get it. Big time loss if you don't. So as soon as he's through here, and now just mash. And you'll be alright. But if it appears and you're not there straight away, it disappears and it doesn't come back. No sense in that at all.
I need you to...
I know. Step a fucking pallet.
Ellie, come on. Creaky! Creaky's here. Hello there, Creaky boy. How you doing, mate? Yes, and high five. Because I knew that you would be here. You would be here for the high five. All for you, mate. Again, diving, only because I prefer to dive. JK, am I excited for The Last of Us 2? Not excited by the wait, but yeah.
Hey, go get the other one. You can use it as a
And JK, welcome, dude.
Hey, be careful crossing that thing.
I will.
Okay, high five, because we love Ellie. And she hasn't put a foot wrong so far. In fact, just think, she actually got us an unexpected kill at one point, didn't she?
Oh, I'm so hungry.
I know, I am too.
Alright, next squirrel I see, I'm totally feeding it.
Let's get
Right,
past
this is
place, then we can scrounge
this
up
is
some
actually
food.
one of the hardest cutscene skips to time, because as soon as you hit this triangle
No
prompt
way
here,
around.
it starts. It's like really, really awkward. You don't get any
False
little
alarm.
animation or
They're
anything.
friendlies. We've been dealing with raids. A lot of bandits and
Oh, as well as we met in the springtime when blossoms unfold. We also have to say, hey, thanks, Tommy.
we
Hey,
had it working before.
hey, thanks, Tommy.
But one of the turbines went south.
We have electricity.
Uh,
I had.
that might be
We'll
right.
get her running again.
I hope.
No way. You guys have horses.
We got a whole lot of them.
We don't need to do this. I just do this
Sorry, I'll
anyway.
be right back.
Can I?
Yeah, of course. You like
The game doesn't punish you if you don't
ever ride one?
trigger this.
I actually have.
When have you ridden a horse?
Winston, this soldier back in the zone, he gave me lessons.
You know, if you want, we can take them riding later.
Okay, the last one actually sounded, hello, miss. Hey, thanks, Tommy. Hey, thanks, Tommy.
There.
Hey, thanks, Tommy.
Yeah, pretty good. I'm sure that that woman up there is the same one that we meet on the bridge in a bit. She gets reassigned.
Yeah?
Why are you here?
Right, so to the curb.
Still waiting on how.
Not on the curb, just to the curb. Straighten it up.
We'll be fine. Just go home to your family.
Look down.
Just a couple more
And
hours,
as soon as Maria moves,
Take it easy.
we move. Go up to the fourth step. Just let her go out of sight. And go. And nothing. No cunnilingus for you, Maria. It usually works.
Maria,
Yeah, go ahead.
we're in the control room. Steve's about to start it back up. You want to come check it out?
I'd rather eat with Ellie.
It's my turn anyway. I'll go.
When did I put the subtitles on?
Go with Maria. Get some food in.
Come on, Ellie. Let's give the boys some space.
Whatevs.
I'm sending Tommy over. Stand by.
Okay, we can have a little bit of a jog here. And then he'll
Sixth time of them trying to get the turbines back
he'll give up.
online.
Too much like hard work.
We've been here just a week. It feels like forever. I got something for you.
I don't recommend walking
Yes,
all
you're
the
on
way
the
over there straight away. I've got the feeling it just kind of
Most of our stuff
holds
is long
Tommy
gone.
back. He can't quite reach.
Most of it. Here. It's a little faded, but it still looks pretty good.
I'm good.
You sure? I mean,
I've said I'm good.
okay. Well, I'll hold on to it for you.
Tommy, I need to talk to you. Privately.
Yeah, okay. Let me just check on my guys real quick.
Okay, so the only thing that we really need to do here is just make sure that we pick up a brick. You can jog here, incidentally. And we don't have one, so make sure we pick one up. Nothing useful to craft. Good idea to go into
I don't know what you heard.
crouch here.
We're over 20 families strong now. Maria and her
And
family
yes, there is
place to
more
live.
revolver here. Now, the good thing is we can go and pick up this extra revolver ammo without spoiling the timing, because
What do you do for protection?
Tommy is on a timer for the point at which he opens the door, so it's free.
Yeah, you still got to deal with infected, though, right?
Who doesn't? Maybe it's the world we live in.
Or maybe you don't have to be.
You sound like Marlene.
We have even got time to pick up the craftables here. Can't make anything apart from a health kit, but it's nice to know that we can if we needed to. Only other thing to pick up here. Now this is the point at which we pick up the Diablo. Because on the other 2 occasions it lies to you about how much ammo you get. It says 3 and you actually only get 2. Okay, keep your sprint button pressed here, and as soon as Joel can jog, he will do. Now, it doesn't matter about the fact that Joel slows to a walk here, because we've got so long to wait before Tommy comes down and opens the door for the next cutscene. You could actually almost go out for a meal. So we will craft a medkit simply because we've got the time. Medkit and melee weapon. And the rest of it, look, the rest of it is all full. And what we can do here is scroll through. Everything is loaded up.
You see that?
That's pretty impressive. Looks like you're out $2 million.
All right, Joe.
I'm over here, Tommy. We're up there somewhere. Weird. Right, we call this the bunny strat.
Shit! Bandit! Stop him! Don't let him into the building!
Get yourself a brick. Hope. There. I think we're okay. We're okay. Wow. That was unfortunate. That was the thing that Anthony was talking about on his last video. Enemies shooting at you through railings and walls and stuff does a lot more damage. For some logic reason. No idea what. The fuck? What? Is it just the fact that I was quite low on health? I was so far back from the door. Right. Backup strat. Now, suddenly, everything is a lot more difficult. We can't run forward here. Because on the restart, these guys are already through.
That's all, those sons of bitches.
Okay, that was really, really unfortunate.
We gotta get to the girls. Right behind you.
We should still be all right.
Joe.
See that? Over there.
Oh my god. That is actually the game just screwing with me. That is the game screwing with me because it knows that I'm low on health. What you need to do is get this ammo here while you can. I'm going to switch out here. Now, that guy at the end, don't bother with trying to shoot his head. In fact, you can actually just use this time to craft stuff, because the girls will eventually kill him. The alternative is that we can do it. I need a bottle.
Maria?
too damn close.
That was too damn close indeed. That went horribly wrong. Weird. Yeah, I think so. As soon as you hear the dialogue there, do you restart encounter? Again, it removes a bit of dialogue. And always, you've got to keep mashing your sprint button here. Otherwise, it slows. The horse slows to a canter. But the really important thing with that section, really important, is to come out of it with your armed with the Diablo. And then basically anything else that you can afford to craft or swap to. But Diablo is essential. Not just because we're gonna use it in this next combat, but also because we will get given ammo so we can reload it. And if your gun isn't showing, if it's not the one that you're armed with, you can't pick up the ammo, even if you've got the slots. It's a weird facet of the game. In fact, let me just pause. Let me just pause and explain that. That wasn't explained very well. It's why I always make sure that my ammo is loaded as much as it can be. Because say you had, say you only had 2 shots in the El Diablo, but you haven't got that weapon selected. If you come across more El Diablo ammo, you can't pick it up. What you have to do is select that gun and make sure that it's loaded as much as it can be, and then you'll pick up the ammo. It's stupid, but that's the way that it is. Hang on.
Whoa! How many do you see? Too goddamn
right.
many.
Timing. Get that guy straight away.
Go around, I'll cover you.
Load up. Oh my god, didn't mean to fire. Didn't mean to fire. That guy 3rd. This guy 4th. Pick up the ammo if you can. Get this guy. Turn. And he's gone. That happens. Okay, that's it.
That's all of them.
As soon as he said that, you can go to restart encounter, and we're running down.
That's all of them.
God, that was shit.
Come on.
But one thing that's used. Oh, go into your crafting menu here. Don't do anything. It's just shortens an animation of the horses arriving. Weird thing. But in a way, that's kind of good that it shows you that even if you don't get it to plan, you can still get through.
Get on.
Michael! Sorry. Hey there, Mike. How you doing, mate? Alright.
Let's go.
Carletto! Welcome to you as well, dude. I should have redone that section. I could have done. Restart encounter point there, just as you get to that log on the left-hand side. And what it does is it just takes you a little bit further down. Oh, in that case, buonasera.
By the ranch.
Come, mister.
That's our horse. She's got to be there.
Area looks clear.
Wow, that was weird. Angetta! Bonsoir, mon ami.
Ellie?
Okay, this next section.
Ellie?
Okay, before we do it, I'll describe it. What most people tend to do is it doesn't really matter what you do with the 2 guys upstairs. You can take them slowly, or you can do it quick. You can go loud. You can go stealthy. Doesn't really matter. What you mustn't do is, once you've dealt with them, is walk down the stairs or aim for the stairs, because that means that the smoke bomb will definitely go off, and it just makes the last 3 guys downstairs, well, harder to find, never mind kill. So what the ideal way to avoid that is to hop over the banister, the rail, okay? As close to this corridor as you can get, as close to the room, sorry, as you can get. And that means that the smoke bomb won't go off, and you can use a molly and kill all 3. So the way that I tend to do it is, because I've got the ammo available, is to use 2 rifle shots, just because it's quick. I think there's other people doing that as well. I try to play a part, yeah. Okay, so, rifle, bang, bang, and then arm yourself with molly, jump over the rail there, and you've basically got a free shot on these guys, and that's it, they're dead. It's a beautiful, beautiful way of doing things. Don't need to swap anything. Right. Oh, so satisfying when that goes right. 1, 2, and restart encounter. Oh, holy hell, that was nice and smooth. And unlike the Searchlight, that's not one that takes a load of practice. It's actually a very straightforward one to do.
Most of the campus from there.
Now, I've taken to going to the right there because on the left-hand side I was getting a much bigger sound glitch.
Where's that time of year?
Which I don't think affected time, but it's just so fucking annoying.
I reckon it takes quite a crew to run that operation.
Do you think there'll be other people my age?
Okay, fun with mollies. Well, a molly.
What is it?
Sounds like runners.
Stay with the horse. I'll go check it out.
Okay.
I don't want him running off.
Now, last stream, I think it was, I found there's actually an improvement to how you do this. Get them alerted here, but get them all to come out. Get them all to come out. Didn't quite work. Didn't actually work at all. Yeah, fuck that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That has to be done better. Because we got a really good result. I don't think I got the alert in quite the right way. I think I need to gather them a bit more first. It's... Wow, okay, I'm not going to do it. I think I must have got really lucky on the last one. They all came out into the corridor in a clump. Got them all in one go, really, really easy. Wow! I was already swinging at it. Wow, that was weird.
And that's that.
T-pose. I can't give a speedrun tip on that because that was unexpected from start to finish. What's disappointing is the fact that we're a little bit low on health. But we should be okay. Have to reload the rifle here, incidentally. Your rifle will always be depleted for some reason.
Hey, I was thinking I would have wanted to be an astronaut.
That a fact.
Another restart and counter point here. As soon as Joel can move, do a restart. And we're on the horse. Yay!
What about you?
And about to incorrectly name a mess of monkeys.
Right when I was a kid, I used to want to be
a mess? Really?
A singer.
Shut up.
No, serious.
Sing something.
No.
Come on, I won't laugh. Aw, are those monkeys?
Yeah, a whole mess of them.
Troop, Joel. Troop. Okay, this next combat, I don't think the health is that much problem. But this is a section that can easily go wrong, and it's happened more often lately than it ever used to. The principle of what we're going to do is very straightforward. Shotgun. 1 shotgun shell for what is actually a pretty quick route through here. But you've got to be quite precise with your movements to the extent that you want to not bonk into anything. That's the most important thing. Just don't hit doorways and stuff like that. Shotgun. Bang, and then run straight away. Don't hit anything. Try and make it really smooth. That is a little bit close. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I don't want to look. Okay, we're fine. Like I said, it goes wrong for me often enough. So it'll go wrong for you if you've not run it before. I would just, you can do a restart encounter there and it doesn't change behaviour. So you can run through it a few times. It can be a bit of a bugger to get through. Okay, reload, because you can, before you get to the door. Don't know why that was the case there. It shouldn't have. Oh, it's because he was still taking his mask off, I think.
More infected.
We can use this ammo here. This is all good. There's lots of different ways that the escape from the science lab can go. And it's difficult to get a feel for it until you're actually there. You don't... Well, sorry, until the first guy is dealt with. Bit difficult to know what's going to go on. The very best scenario is that Ellie gets grabbed and you're thinking, what? And she die. Not in easy mode. Because it takes a long while for her plus sign to fill in. And it despawns all the guys downstairs and you can get to the door and you're safe. So an Ellie grab is perfect. You can't make it happen.
Stay right on my ass.
And Sid Kid with the follow. Thank you, dude.
I think they were fireflies.
Welcome to the Bant Colony. Good to have you here.
I don't think so.
Why would they have infected so close to the lab?
Well, Bill used them as a form of defense. Maybe they're doing the same.
Yeah.
Okay, lots of supplies here, but we don't need them. The other thing that you can do, incidentally, I know even Anthony stops the horse quite a long way from the dumpster here. What you can do, if you really want, is just wait till the horse stops. That means you don't have to dismount and then start jogging over to it.
Alright, not what I had in mind, but it'll do.
Could save you anything up to a second, you know. Okay, I always get relieved by that. That is one of the game's more notorious blue screen moments.
Thanks. Let's look around. Hello?
Wow. I was mashing triangle. Hey, Dundees! Hello there, darling.
What's going on?
It's amazing. It's not a jacket. Would you believe? It's like it's a jacket-shaped jumper. It's weird. Yeah. Okay, that brick there is really important. Although you can pick up this here. Right, crouch. There. And your jog point is at the end of this pool of light. Now he can jog again. Looking funky's time.
Jesus. At least it ain't
look, so many people have found me through Anthony. Anthony owes me money now.
Well, maybe an
No, I owe him money. Okay. You can stand up again there. Yeah, I've got that the wrong way around. I'm just hoping that it'll hear that and think, yeah, I think he's right. And then realise too late. Okay, this is where we just hit and oh my god, I was already sprinting. This is where we hit and hope here.
No matter.
Never really know what's going to happen. No, she's not going to get grabbed. Right, get to your smoke bomb here. Get it into that corridor. That's good. Oh my god. Wow. That first guy was not supposed to run by me there. Oh, the fucking hell. Where did the smoke bomb go? Where did the smoke bomb go? The smoke bomb was fucking perfect. It landed in the corridor. That was a glitch. That definitely glitched out. That's the reason why I don't like the restart there. Oh, fuck's sake. And she got the plus sign as well. That's why I don't like the restart. This guy, it's so easy to get stuck on him. But that was weird. I'd love to see a clip of that. Great, Ellie's got a plus sign. That's perfect. Now you notice, nobody here. Everybody's gone. Everybody has disappeared, and I get to that in time. Weird. Only hold that for about 2 seconds. It becomes scripted after that. Creaky, simply autopilot. I didn't need to throw it.
What do you want me to do? Move. What?
Yeah, Dundee's. That plus sign for Ellie, that will only work in, well, certainly in easy, and definitely not in grounded. Don't know about the stuff in between.
1, 2, 3.
But in grounded, her plus sign fills in a lot quicker. In easy, it fills in so slowly that you've got time to get to the door. But why those guys disappear downstairs? No idea. They just either despawn or don't spawn in at all. Right, two very small tricks here. Again, marginal advantage. You can shoot this guy in the head, and it just speeds up by a few seconds, because Ellie will kill him. Ellie will kill this guy here. But if we get the headshot, it just saves a second or so, and then the next bit is after then fucking walk. Those two guys that appear on the far left-hand side at the top of the stairs, you can actually, you can't shoot them, but you can aim and take a shot. And again, it just speeds up a little bit of animation. So usually there, it would be another, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 seconds before Ellie takes a second shot.
I gotta get you out of here. You're not okay, Joel! Now, come on! Move it!
Deer shot before you ask. I just don't go for it. But, if you're still there, one thing I can give you is better placement for your second and third shots. Or what for me are the first and second.
Here, lean on me.
No.
Well, can you walk?
Yes.
Nice one.
Then fucking walk!
Because you are having difficulty seeing the hit point through the bow. And it's because you were a little bit too far away. That's one of the effects of that. So you can actually get closer in both parts of that. You can get closer to the deer. Now, try and take a shot. You can't do it. You can shoot, but you can't kill one of them. But it just shortens that animation a little bit. For the simple reason, Dean, that I've run this game literally hundreds of times, and I've got the deer shot once, and I don't know how I did it. So, yeah. That, something like a 99.99% fail rate.
Swear to God, I get you out of this. You're so singing for me.
You wish.
In fact, a 99.99% fail rate is almost a success in a way. Not many people can do something 99.99% of the time.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
Yeah, you do lose time. Because you're crouch walking down to the twig and then you're aiming. Whereas if you don't, you can just kind of jog straight away. The camera tries to throw your view off to the right hand side, but you can still keep moving. Okay. So, as you'll see, as soon as we have control of Ellie here,
where'd you go?
we can actually jog.
There he is.
Does that with the camera, can't stop it, but at least we're in motion. Now, okay, the deer shots, what you would call standard deer shots. Keep over to the right-hand side there, because she will actually get stuck on a pebble. Second tree, and go into a crouch. Now, you can see, and you can get your shot.
Got you.
Don't go up to the right there. It's actually better going this side. Stick to the rock. Use your X button to just jump up here. Go to the edge, crouch.
Hold it steady.
And you've got the shot almost straight away. And you're perfectly lined up to get through here. This looks like an area where you can get lost, but one thing that people don't know, most people don't realise, and it actually makes sense, is that it is actually just a big circle with a clump of rock in the middle. Well, clump of rock with some trees. And it's not the quickest way, Tim. What I did there is definitely not the quickest way. But it's just really comfortable. It's like you've got markers all over the place, so you know exactly where you're supposed to be. It's like, you know, those X's on a stage for actors. Okay, first thing, load up. And go over here. And we hope... What we do here to try to avoid the sound glitch, which actually changes the pattern, is after we get this first shot here, I reload. Okay.
Done this before.
No. And it still happens. So what happens now is we don't get the third guy running out there. We have to go over here. It's so annoying. Can't do anything about it, incidentally. It's just a sound glitch. And it's the only one, I think, in the game where it's a sound glitch that affects the enemy patterns.
You weren't kidding. You're a
Okay.
with that thing that I am.
Next thing, don't help him. He's fine. David's fine. He can push a cabinet, for God's sake. But we're going to be aiming over here. We're going to get a little flurry of snow. Just to make it slightly more awkward. There you go. But at least we know that they're here. Now what we do is fire the gun for no reason. David, there you go.
Here, on the right.
and David will give us
Let
more.
him come in through the windows.
I actually prefer to
More infected on this side.
stand in the corner here, because at this point I actually prefer them to have come into the room. That was bollocks. That was utter bollocks. It would not allow me. It would not allow me to aim at the clicker. And Leah Corkex would follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It literally would not allow me to aim at the clicker. That was bullshit.
Cover the windows.
Okay.
Make every shot count now.
I've done this before.
Okay, no sound glitch. And we get the third guy. That's what we wanted.
Way to go, kid.
This game can be weird. I think actually tonight we've had most of the weirdnesses, and I'm grateful, because very often it's meant having to do different strats.
They're in here. You weren't kidding. You're a better shot with that thing than I am.
Wow.
Give me a hand with this.
Oh, I get it nearly all the time, Dean. Nearly all the time. It annoys the hell out of me, not just because it changes the pattern, but just the sound.
Yeah, I got more rifle ammo. Don't let them come in through the windows. More infected on this side. A big pack. They must have followed you.
They followed you and your friend.
Okay, I'm going to do it slightly different here.
Stuck in this together.
As long as we get that clicky sound there, that's one out of the way. And we'll get... it could be... Yeah, it could be a difficulty thing. No idea. Oh my god, that animation. Nice. Perfect. So, as long as the game doesn't screw with you, that's actually... Wow. What the hell? What? I have never seen a nail bomb drop there.
Screw it. We're getting out of this room.
Could be a patch thing. Don't know.
Come on. I'll block this. Cover the stairs.
Now, if you take a step over to the right there, one thing that that guarantees is that she won't aim for the wrong clicker. Sometimes if you stay, as you're looking down the stairs there, if you kind of stay a little bit over to the left-hand side, she can aim at one of the clickers in the background. And that's no good to you, because the other one will still come up and it will still get through if you don't kill it. So, at best, you end up wasting a little bit of ammo. However, if you do run out of ammo at that point, he will give you more. Again. Oh.
Do you know where you're going?
Never set foot in this place.
Oh, great.
It's clear. This way.
I would explain the speedrun strat of getting ahead of David through that door, but I can't do it. So.
You don't need to worry about me.
Poor value. Right, this is another section that scares a lot of people. Thankfully, this little bit here is very straightforward. Scary clickers, but we don't need to bother with them at all.
Get out of there!
Okay, so just run down here. circle to crouch, circle off, and then climb. If you're very lucky, you'll get a drop there.
Here you are.
Doors this way.
Well, if you're very low, you'll probably get a drop. This is annoying. That camera there is stupid.
Here. Come here. Boost me up.
Right, one of two things here. Either Clicky-san is on the walkway, or he's still in the room. I can't tell you what we're going to do until we know that.
You be quick. You keep a lookout for those things.
I know.
Okay, he's in the room, so we can just keep running. Don't waste any time on this, incidentally. Just try and do it quick. Okay, do we have one down here? No, we're good. Now, the other thing that can happen is that the clicker will be on the walkway. All you can do there is just be armed with a brick and throw it. There's no other way of doing it, really. Now, this section here, this is another section where the first thing to do, don't pick anything up.
Yeah,
Trigger that conversation. You've got plenty of time to get yourself armed, but the combat won't be triggered until that conversation there.
Keep your eyes open for anything we can use.
See anything?
And then the other thing I would suggest is open this drawer, but don't take the ammo out yet.
Another choice?
Loads and loads of different things you can do here, honestly. So much choice. Because we're going to be using the rifle almost all the way through this. This is just almost for fun. But seriously, that's just kind of a way of buying a little bit of time on a couple of sections. So what I would tend to do here is, we've got time.
You hear that? We're on the roof.
I know.
That's just for fun. Oh my god. Okay, drops are not great. Get one from him, but
We're doing fine.
It doesn't feel like it.
Stay focused.
yeah, we're fine. But this is why I keep that there. It's one that you can... Oh, my word. Floating ammo. That makes sense. Wow. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's just one that... If you need to grab rifle ammo really, really quick, you can do. Okay, we've also got that one. Go into a crouch here. I just find it easier than trying to get into position. Below the knee. That's all you got to do. Hit that clicker, bloater, sorry, below the knee. Oh, that's weird. That is really weird.
Kid,
Yeah?
I think we did it.
Like we killed all of them?
You did see what happened there, didn't you?
Like disbelief.
The, that rifle ammo that I picked up in the window that was like just floating in the air was 4. And what you've got in that drawer to the left-hand side is 4. I've got the feeling that it was one and the same, but just somehow repeated, like there's some kind of glitch there. Don't know. We're okay with 4, incidentally. Don't worry about that.
I'll check the bridge.
Okay, all of this stuff here is useless now, apart from that. Well, pretty much.
No infected.
5 in the drawer.
No infected. What'd I tell you?
No, I think it's 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4.
Let's
Well, whatever happened when I picked up the stuff in the window, what was in the drawer disappeared. Strange. Okay. This next little trick, don't worry, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not been working for me recently. There is a little thing that you can do here so that Ellie doesn't get grabbed on the horse. Doesn't save much time. But it's not been happening recently. Don't know why. But we reach a certain point on this run, and what we do is try to turn the camera so it's facing backwards. And it should avoid her getting grabbed. But like I said, recently it's not been working. Don't know why.
What do they want from us?
So once we get to about here, turn the camera. Okay, worked this time. Hey Leon, how you doing, friend? Okay, I was going to describe the route here, but everybody knows it. We now just have the this section. What can I say? You've basically got to get your arrows right, but remember, Ellie does not have bow and arrow upgrades. She's as bad as she always was. Well, she's actually better than Joel without the upgrades, but not by much.
Oh man. No. Shit.
Right, so this is kind of... For Amy, hello friend. This is kind of fairly specific. Ellie cannot also yank doors open. She's very patient. So we can sprint all the way here. Until just here. I like to just go into a crouch because these two can get alerted. Then once she's here, sprint again. Jump through, jump through, jump through. Jump over. Just off this ledge, go into a crouch. And get better aim than that. Move forward a bit.
Fuck, where'd they go?
Go back in. Don't go too close to that left-hand side there because it can be a pain. I didn't think I'd got the hit there, but I'm alright. He just decided to be a bit weird. And we're okay.
You come into my house.
Hey, Minimus, with the party, with the raidy thingy doody. Sorry, I was thinking about the game there. Thank you, dude. Welcome. Okay, so this is all pretty straightforward now. Not a great deal to do. A little bit of a, I suppose, a little bit of a tip for getting into the hotel. Oh, one that's worth mentioning here. You don't need to pull this out all the way.
Here we go.
Come on. That'll do.
I got this.
As long as she says, I got this, then she's got it. She really has. So that thing's pointing out quite a long way there, but we're fine. And sprint again. Nice and tight around here. Sometimes this jump doesn't always happen. Oh, fine. Now, as we get to this here, just slow a little bit. Only momentarily. It just helps. Get these jumps as quick as you can.
I don't want to get trapped in here.
Through the window rather than that. Now, I use the rifle here because it's easy. I actually, because it means I can do that without doing switching from right to left. And these guys are nice and easy now. They're fairly predictable. There you go. As long as you can do that quickly. Get that guy at the back really quick. And those two are really very, very predictable. Okay, so we're good there. Now, Jolie boy. Fucking finger. Right. Oops. Wow. Never done that shot before. I find it absolutely necessary to heal up at that point. Obviously, if you're playing grounded, you can't. Good idea to have your flashlight on here. Now, the reason I heal up at that point is that Joel doesn't get any health back on the 2 combats that he's about to do. So if he takes damage, it can be a bit of a problem. Reason for having a flashlight on here, because we're going to use it as a guide. It starts to lose power. Okay? Starts to lose power. It'll start flickering. When it does, go into a crouch and make sure that you have your rifle. There. Okay, now aim. And also try to get the shots though, which I didn't. But see what I mean? You can take damage there, which is why it's a good idea to have full health. Now, these guys are basically chicken, but unpredictable with this pattern here. Now, once they say keep running, that's it. They'll keep running. You've got the luxury here of just picking some stuff up if you want to. Just for some extra craftables later, because we can have another Molly, at least, which is good. Amber! Hello there, darling. Oh, and bear swords as well, or bear's words. Okay. This should be...
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Should be straightforward. Go a little bit wide. There, don't hug that corner too much. It changes things in a way that I can't really explain. Don't go too far with that. Crouch. But please, please, please get this right first time. Don't pick up that bottle. Whatever you do, don't pick up that bottle. Just that small movement of picking it up, even though it doesn't really use up any time, changes the AI pattern. They become twats. Go off your sprint here. Oh, that's unfortunate. Tim got that yesterday. That is extremely rare.
This place is a damn maze.
Pick up that bottle there. That's the one that you want. Go into a crouch here and just see where everyone is. Okay, that's unlucky. So, if that happens, stay well over to the left here. They're all blind.
Come on.
Thankfully, they do run out into the street and they generally can't see you. Now here, vital restart encounter. As soon as she lands, you have to do a restart encounter there, unless you want to take a massive risk of actually soft locking the game completely. There's a weird thing that can happen. We'll run through to the door where David comes in, except that he won't. Okay, he will literally be stuck outside. Nothing that you can do. You've just got to, well, basically it's end of run. You can't do anything. So it's the restart there, really important. Now we can do a funny little thing here. Keep swapping. As soon as you see the throwable, swap it. Because they don't disappear.
How did you do it?
The only danger is that David does have invincibility frames here.
Nowhere to go.
And also...
You want out? Let's come get these keys.
That can happen as well.
That was good, kid.
A bit unlucky. That locked and unlocked.
You keep surprising me.
So that's... It can go better than that, but that's alright. We'll take that. It's much better than running around trying to find him. Okay, my strat here is preferred. It works, because, again, if you do the same thing, you'll have the same materials, which is kind of what's important. So, just run through to this bit here, stop, throw that nail bomb, and then get running again. What I've got is a shotgun, and you haven't, so I'm better than you. In all ways. Right, this should be reasonably straightforward. So, remember, you can save ammo there. Not going to try and take them out. You can just be far away enough, and they won't hit you. It is, I admit, quite RNG, but you don't need to try and take all those 3 guys out at the end.
I gotta find her. I gotta find her. Holy shit. Ellie.
And because it's so beautiful, yes, you have to. Sorry, you have to be pushing Ellie forward here. But because it's so beautiful, we are having the cutscene here. Hope you don't mind. But usually what would happen is as soon as you see get the triangle prompt, it will go into the cutscene straight away so you can do your restart encounter.
Guess not. Just not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
Ellie language. But you're right.
You think you know me? Huh?
Kill him.
Let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
And there. That's your restart encounter point.
Stop! Stop!
Fucking touch me!
It's okay. It's me. It's me. It's me. Look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
And the music as well. Wow. What a moment. Okay, we can do the Wow, I didn't... Does it come up with spring? Be interesting. Yeah, it does. Okay. Actually, that was just accidentally. I thought we were still in the in the cutscene.
Ellie!
Ellie!
Did you hear me?
No. What?
Look. Hospital. This is where we get off.
Oh, Tim, how could it?
Let's go, kiddo.
Oh, honestly. Colleagues, huh? Who needs them?
You feel that breeze, huh? I tell you, on a day like this, I just sit on my porch, pick away at my six string.
So, again...
Yeah, once we're done with this whole thing...
I've got the sprint button pressed.
Yeah, I reckon you'd really like that.
Because if not, he would just be walking.
What do you say, huh?
This is sprint. Now he's getting some energy. I take a very slightly different path to Anthony here. I don't know whether there's any advantage at all. I've just started doing it, and I kind of always do now. Watch me get it wrong, but I jump
Look at
over
that.
here.
Another city, another abandoned quarantine zone.
Rather than going around. It's got to be half a second quicker, maybe. Right, okay, we have 211, and we'd like a little bit more. Oh, Tim, you'll like this. I don't know if you
Maybe
did
we
this.
cut through here, huh?
Right there in the middle. Well, just very slightly off middle to the right. You got a little launch.
Well, we could use that ladder. Here we go.
Hey, Reddy Pine. Hello, the
Ellie.
friend. How's it going?
Ellie,
What?
the ladder.
Now, we have a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time to play with here, so we'll make use of it. First of all, we'll check what we can craft. Okay, now we've done that, run over here. Remember, we're still waiting for Ellie to drop the ladder. So we've lost no time at all, but we've picked up more stuff.
What is it? Ellie!
We picked up stuff and we've crafted as well. So that's all good. And then by the time we get to hospital, we should have more than enough to get through. You know, it's nice in hospital to have a little bit of a backup.
What the hell is it?
That's not working. Right, crouch here.
Kidding me?
And as soon as you get to this cabinet, run again.
Come on, hurry up.
At least they're nice little marker points there. You know when to crouch, you know when to get up again. Right, ignore giraffe by going left here. Okay, Jimmy, no problem, dude. There is a little restart encounter to do here, but honestly it saves so little time. Just as that starts, do a restart encounter, and that's got to be a tenth of a second, maybe. Right, sprint.
Look,
Halfway down,
I know you
go
know
into crouch again, because he just automatically
There's no halfway
walks. Then as soon as we're down here, get back into a jog. Now,
Okay.
we can pick up a little bit of stuff here, do it quickly,
Let's go wrap this up.
and the important thing is to still get through here ahead of Ellie, which we do. And, look, we can have another molly and another smoke bomb. Keep jogging here. Keep jogging until you get by the side of this tank.
This place
Now,
takes me
go
back.
into crouch.
How so?
As soon as Joel's dialogue
That was right
starts
after
there,
everything went down.
he just starts walking.
I ended up in a triage just
We want a brick, which we will pick up
where you looked.
here.
Saw families torn apart.
And we are
Damn world
good.
seemed to have
We don't need to craft anything yet, incidentally,
Is that after
because once we get past the tunnel, where Ellie's going to drop the ladder down, that's when we can do all of the extra crafting that we might want to do. But the important thing here is have a brick and have a little bit of ammo.
I'm sorry, Joel.
Don't really need ammo from this point.
That's okay, Ellie.
Not much. Yeah, you can get a launch there, which is useful. Now, this is the bit... again, Tim, hope you're watching here. This is a case of just memorising a route. Nothing more than that. It's not difficult to do.
What do you mean?
You've just got to remember where you're going, that's all.
Sure of it.
Practice, you'll get there. Now, as soon as we've jumped over this truck and landed, we're going to do a restart encounter. I can't explain exactly why, but fire a gun, right? The gun doesn't do anything apart from it creates an alert so that Joel can sprint. That's all it does. Just means Joel can sprint. Now, this is the thing to remember here. Get onto this platform, but at the end of this, go sharp left. Wow, I got hit. Wow. Get through here. Get yourself ready with a brick, just in case. No, we don't need it. Smoke bomb. Lock onto that bloater. When you get to this tree, go into a crouch.
Here, let me
Now we
pick you
may
up there.
look. There you go. Now, what can I say? So the important thing there is as soon as you've jumped down from that truck, do a restart encounter. I can't remember exactly why it's necessary. Just believe me, it is. Then as soon as Joel can move, fire a gun. And that just means that he's in an alert mode so he can run. But the rest of it is just remembering what that route is. You've got to go straight forward. You can either climb up that truck or you can climb up the building to the right of it. It doesn't really matter. Then you'll jump down and run past a car, but in between two bloaters. Diagonally right. Hang on. Yeah, diagonally right, up onto a platform on the right-hand side of the road. Once you pass the barrier, go sharp left and around a car, through the gap, and then have yourself a brick ready to throw at a runner, which may, and in fact usually does appear from the right-hand side, and then swap to a smoke bomb. You have to lock on to the bloater which is on the right as you're looking. It has to lock on. Throw that smoke bomb, and then basically you're good to go. We were quite lucky there, because what happens with me quite a lot is I will get to that point and the triangle prompt won't actually be available. But as long as you are go into crouch mode and stay there, you'll be all right. It will eventually appear. We actually got the perfect result there. But again, once you've done this, just be on the safe side. Go into crouch mode. And if you want to craft, good point to do it. If you stand up there, you're likely to get an alert. But now we're okay. And we're good to go. It's nice if you can hop over this in one go. I do that all the time. Can you imagine that is right up the shins? Oh my god, that's going to take off a lot of skin.
Watch your step.
You're all cringing now just thinking about that. I know, I know.
I'm on the other side.
Right, this is another strangely vital
Right.
restart encounter point here. Once we drop this ladder, Ellie is actually miles away at the moment. She's so... Look. Can't even see her. Look where she is. So what we do is we drop the ladder here, and as soon as it lands, bonk, do a restart encounter, and she's here. We don't need to wait for her.
Freezing.
Right. Shotgun is nice and powerful here, so it only takes 2 shots. One to remove the boxes, one to remove the clicker. The clicker trick here, I've never got it to work once, and I suspect it might be either a patch or a difficulty thing, or a combination of both, maybe. Really don't know. Don't need to pick up the ammo there, but if you wanted it, it's there. So, for the hospital we have 231, that is perfect. I don't actually use the smoky anymore, I use the malt. Because I like to see fireflies burn. I'm sick. Well, they've got fire in the name. Come on, you know. Their own damn fault. Alright, another little thing that you can do here is once you get through this doorway, press the X. And this is a lot quicker. Then do your circle button as well there, just to not have really, really weird artifacts. This... Oh, we got up first time. That's nice. Yeah, I don't know what causes it, Conrad. Absolutely no idea. I know what it is. It's me being shite. That is usually the explanation. I'll go for it. Simple. Doesn't need any further description. No, so don't. Little known thing, Joel can die there, you know.
You know.
Extremely rare, but he can die as he lands on that. Either on or next to that pallet.
Come on. Be careful.
I got you.
Touch wood. Never happened to me. Okay, damn ladder broke off the wall, and we're in a... That's... What is the point of swapping anything out? We're not going to use any guns now. We've got a brick. That's the good thing. We saved a brick. Absolutely, yeah. Just get the main route through each section first. Remember where to pick up and not pick up stuff. The rest of it is all detail.
Damn ladder broke off the wall.
Now what?
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, as I said the other night, there's a hell of a lot to take in. But once you've seen it a few times, it just gets embedded in your brain. You know, I don't... Hardly any of this run I actually think about. I actually think only about what might go wrong. But it's not like I'm going into any section not remembering what I'm supposed to do, because it's just been ingrained now for so long.
Oh, I see. Good idea.
One thing I don't do is the restart encounter actually in the hospital, and I don't know whether I really should.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure what advantage it does, what difference it makes.
Okay, come on, jump.
Okay, so the next little trick here is keep your forward button, keep your L3 forward, and as soon as Joel can move...
Let's get the hell off this thing.
As you restart encounter, takes you to the end of that little platform. Or near enough. Now, I actually press the controls here. I don't know whether this is actually all kind of scripted. You know, whether pressing the X makes him fall any quicker. There's a triangle prompt here on the right-hand side. I don't know if that is actually a triangle prompt, grabbing that. I don't know whether it's needed. Absolutely no idea. Hope we don't get the bus glitch. Bus glitch. Please no. Please no. What can sometimes happen is that triangle prompt will disappear, and Joel is just kind of bobbing up and down in the water, and you can't do anything. Okay, we're fine. So hard to notice, but you do actually see Ellie being swept away there. Okay, so at least for the hospital we've got lots of gear. That's the most important thing. But I've got 2 mollies, and that is actually great. That is really, really good, because I can do what is now like a preferred strat. Because this first section can go wrong so easily, you can just get an alert for no reason. One thing to do here, get to the end of this table, slow, just to a jog, and now you can run again. If you try and sprint all the way, you'll get an alert. But this one here is supposed to be just straightforward, you can run through. Okay. Okay, it did actually work this time. But what I now do, because it's great fun, like that, just burn. Wow. He does try to get through the closed door quite a lot. Okay, and in the grand finale, there's a very specific reason for running to the left of that post. It changes the alert here, and it changes it to one that you need. Okay, sprint again. You have to just slow as you get to that not anti-penultimate, second corridor. And then here, one molly, because everything is ridiculously OP at this point, just kills everyone. And you're free to go. One thing that I'm glad to say is that if that had been a run, it wouldn't have been a PB, even without the explanations. But I reckon it would have been around the 10... Sorry, it would have been around the 310, no, maybe 313 or something like that. 312, 313. Straight into a crouch. Just a little bit quicker. Oh, I'll need to... I will probably post this as a guide. So I'll take the music off. This is the one piece of music in the game that gets copyright stroked. So we don't take the risk. I think everybody knows this route now. No explanation needed here. We could actually admire the pictures on the wall. No, we won't. They're a bit shit. They're done by children. Enthusiastic, but basically a bit shit. Right, I think that should be enough. Anybody wants to copyright strike for that, they can just sod off. Oh, Tim, that is brilliant. Oh, that is so nice. Well, we learned something new. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about there, you know, after the Capitol building, once you get into that subway area, how are you breathing this stuff? How are you breathing in all this stuff? Because it's really dark and there's not a lot of contrast, and Joel always switches his flashlight off at that point, you can't really see what's going on. But apparently Ellie does actually grab his hand and pull him down to hide behind that thing. That is so cute. I'm happy to know that now. Okay, so there we go. This is quite good timing. I think Anthony will be on in 15 minutes. No, because I'd never looked for it, Dean. And like I said, because it's so dark and the contrast is so poor, it doesn't, you know, it's not like in your face.
Should be a straight shot through here.
All right.
Actually kind of pretty, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Dean, you knew that and I knew all of the rest. He isn't? Huh.
Feeling my age now.
That's unexpected.
Don't think I ever told you, but Sarah and I used to take hikes like this. I think the two of you would have been good friends.
Okay, just one final RE point here as soon as you jump up here.
Down there.
And that's it.
It's a little bit further now.
Ah, right, well, yeah, because I thought he was going to do some fact. I knew that he wasn't going to do a run yesterday because he'd just done that race. But he had mentioned that he might do some factions. So I've got to assume that he didn't go on at all last night. But that being the case, I'm surprised that he's not on tonight. But like I said, if he's feeling a bit burnt out, that's fine. Oh my god, here we go. Here we go. And Fasuli, hello there, dude. And Tim with 5 subs to plain old Bill, a Ragtab Medal, Bigfoot, Iraka, and Benzel. Oh, Benzel's got one as well. Nice. Tim, thank you, dude. Thank you very much.
back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone.
Well, something to bear in mind, Tim, is that, okay, we're just, it took me five minutes to get running, and we've actually played a minute or so of cutscene, and I've been pausing the game a lot to explain stuff, and my uptime is just about 350. And another gifted sub to Amber. Yay! Amber, darling, you got a gifted sub from Tim.
My best friend was there.
Yay. Cheers, mate.
She got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess.
Unfortunately, it's too late for me to do a run now. It's just going on for 9 o'clock.
That is on you.
It's a bit of a shame.
You don't understand.
I struggled
but
a long time with surviving.
Who else is on? Oh my God, nobody.
No matter what.
Tim, do you fancy doing
you
another?
Keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Oh, and the gifted sub to Melissa. Tim, thank you, dude. Mwah.
Okay.
And that's 20. Good lordy. Oh, you're at the office. Okay. Does your office happen to have a PS4? No. I wouldn't have thought so. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm just really disappointed now that nobody's on. Any of you guys, do you fancy having a raid of quite a few people? As long as you're playing The Last of Us, of course. Anyone? I can offer you 43 at the moment, and that's quite nice. Nobody running at all. Why? I actually genuinely don't understand that, why it's so quiet. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. I'm sitting here thinking, I want to watch. I want to watch, and there's nobody. Damn it. We could maybe go and watch Elk playing Horizon Zero Dawn, because he's speedrunning that. If that appeals to anybody. Yeah, go on then. Go on. I did spell that right, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Hey, Better Live. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. And is she streaming Tilu? Any chance? Or is she just available? Oh, okay. Is she on now? Right, okay. Leah Corex. Let me just check that I've got that spelt right. Ooh, capital C probably isn't great. Okay. Yeah, fine. Nothing more embarrassing than raiding somebody who doesn't exist. They're Corkex. Okay. And I'll do it with the lowercase L just in case, because it can be funny. Yeah. Probably asking if I'm going to play the game tonight. He's in the ranch. Okay, well, let's not mess about then. Thank you guys for watching. Let's go and raid Leah and see how she's getting on. And I'll catch you probably tomorrow. Night night all. Thanks for being here. And especially thanks Tim for all the stuff. Top man. Cheers mate. Bye bye.